school basketball game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine, the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of the York Revolution.
Markey to Saxton, cutting through the lane, hits the layup, beautifully run play.
High school basketball plays here on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. Bringing you the best of the York Adams League all season.
Shiflett a deep three, it is good! Trey Shiflett with the tray at the buzzer.
Now, let's head out to the action with a call of tonight's game. Here's Ron Ruben.
Good evening and welcome to the high school basketball game of the week presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Tonight we're at West York for a key Division II girls game as the Bulldogs host the Warriors of Susquehannock. I'm Ron Ruman, pleased to be joined by Wayne McCullough tonight. And Wayne, we were talking before going on air, and you're of the opinion these are the two teams to beat here in Division II in the girls' side.
Yeah, I think there's obviously four outstanding teams in Division II, which I believe actually in girls basketball in the York Adams League is the best top to bottom division in the York Adams League. Division I in the boys, but Division II in the girls. Two of the best are here today with the Susquehannock Warriors and the West York Bulldogs. They're both a little bit different. We'll talk more about it as we go on. Both teams well coached, both very aggressive teams.
All right, the Bulldogs are off to the good start of 4-1. Susky got their first two wins, have lost the last two, so they need the rebound win here tonight. We'll see if they can get it. As we mentioned, this is the high school basketball game of the week presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Congratulations to the York College Spartans. Daryl Henry just signing off. So Spartans win 77-72 to send them into their break on a good note tonight. So congrats to them. This is the Penn State York pregame show. We're going to take a break here, and when we come back we'll wait till they start. They're not going to set that clock at 45 minutes, right? They're not going to do that.
No, I don't think so.
We can't kill
maybe
15.
Maybe there we go.
When we come back, we'll have our coaches' interviews brought to you by Stony Brook Family Restaurant. That's coming up next on Sports Radio 1350 and GameTimePA.com.
Penn State York. Great faculty, small classes, personal attention. Even if you're not sure what you want to do, Penn State York can help you choose the class, the course, the program, the certificate, seminar, or degree you want. Penn State York offers 9 four-year bachelor degrees you can complete without leaving the area. There are also 7 associate degrees. You can also begin the first 2 years of more than 160 Penn State majors right here in York. No matter what class you take, the national reputation of Penn State will follow you throughout your career. Call Penn State York for a brochure. 771-4040. That's 771-4040.
Mornings at 9. Dan Patrick on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Welcome back to our pregame show. Tonight we're at West York for a key girls contest in Division II as the Bulldogs host the Warriors of Susquehannock, and Warriors head coach Dave Shiner is with me. Coach, got off to a good start. You struggled the last couple of games. Where's the team right now?
I think right now we're trying to find out who we are. I think the first 3 games, we came out, played pretty well, but I think the level of competition has been better the last 2 games, and right now I think we're just not sure who we want to be. Do we want to be a team that presses full court the whole time? Do we want to be more of a half-court team? I don't think we've been running enough off of our half-court defense. I'm hoping tonight that we can find out a little bit more about our basketball team.
You've got some veterans, some new players as well working in. I'm sure chemistry is always something you have to work on early in the season.
Yeah, and we lost Ashley Stone last year, our leading scorer.
Sure.
But we have a good nucleus of kids back. One of the issues is we don't have a deep bench. We don't have a deep bench, so we've been in some foul trouble the last 2 games. That has hurt. And there's minutes there that we need out of some of the kids that haven't been in the game. But as far as the chemistry as a whole, I think we're playing pretty well. We got to cut down on the turnovers, the fouls, and we got to get to the foul line ourselves a little bit more. We got to maybe give up some of the looks at the three-point line to get inside a little bit more.
Talking to Dave Shiner, head coach of the Susquehannock Warriors on the road at West York tonight. West York, Susquehannock have been at the top of Division II the last several years. West York, a team also in transition a bit this year. Some young players playing. What do you look for from the Bulldogs tonight, and what do you feel you need to do to be successful?
Yeah, I think, they lost, maybe 4 seniors, 4 starters from last year, but I think they're probably a better basketball team from what I saw in Summer League. They got some talented freshmen that are playing for them, and they got some size. They got a little bit of everything. They got some shooters. They got some size. So I think they're going to be a better basketball team than they were last year, even though that they've, lost some starters. From what I saw, like I said in Summer League, I think they're going to be better. And obviously they came back from a 30-point loss to Dover and got it back together and have won a game since then. And we're still in that. We're still looking for that next win.
All right, Coach, thanks so much, and good luck to you tonight.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Back with more of a pregame show after these messages on Sports Radio 1350 and GameTimePA.com.
Stony Brook Family Restaurant, located at 3560 East Market Street in York, is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Completely remodeled, Stony Brook is the home of good food and hospitality at reasonable prices. Proudly serving the York area for over 30 years, Stony Brook is family-owned and now also serves beer and wine. For home cooking, homemade soup, steaks, seafood, our famous roasted chicken, or just about anything, visit Stony Brook Family Restaurant, 3560 East Market Street in York.
Sports injury? Walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics for immediate care. No appointment is ever needed. Our orthopedic and sports medicine specialists are here to treat you. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today for hours at our York and Hanover locations.
Hey, Dad, what's with all these papers and stuff?
Well, you're starting college in 2 weeks, and I'm doing some homework, cramming to find a college loan to pay the rest of your tuition. I'm afraid it's going to be an all-nighter, honey.
I wanted to talk to you about that, Dad. I think a student choice loan with York Educational FCU would be the best way to go.
YEFCU? We got a mortgage through them. Great rate, and I love the fact that they have free bill payer, but student loans?
Yeah, YEFCU student choice loan pays for my cost of attendance at York College or most other four-year schools, minus the financial aid I already received. The student choice loan would take care of tuition, books, room and board, all that stuff. But the best part is that YEFCU Student Choice Loan is a one-time application. That means next year, I just tell them how much I need, and they'll disperse the money right to the school.
So we don't have to reapply every year?
Nope. So step away from the homework, Dad. A student choice loan is the best move we can make.
So we're not staying up all night? Oh, did I ever tell you about the night I did an entire term paper in one night with an old typewriter and no correction ribbon?
What's a typewriter?
York Educational Federal Credit Union, 1601 South Queen Street, York. Apply online at yefcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
First in York, first in sports. Sports Radio 1350, WOIK.
Welcome back to our pregame show. Tonight we're at West York for a key girls contest in Division II as the Bulldogs host the Warriors of Susquehannock. And West York head coach Daryl Wilderson is with me. And Coach, you're off to a good 4-1 start, got some good non-conference wins. What's your feeling on the team early on? A lot of transition from the last couple of years this year.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a young team, so obviously, whenever we take the floor, I'm not exactly sure what's going to transpire, but I really like this group of girls. They've been great to work with, and they're working hard. So I do feel that every time we take the floor, we have a chance to win. Obviously, we have to go out and do the things that need to be done, but I have a lot of faith in this group, and I think that when we take the floor, especially here at home, I expect us to play well.
You do have some veterans, Katie McCarty, Paige Weekly, certainly played in the last couple of years, but you've got a couple freshmen in the lineup. How's it been working in the freshmen who are really getting their first taste of varsity action?
It's actually been very good. The upperclassmen have really accepted the freshmen, and I think that's one of the most key parts. But always, also the freshmen are extremely talented, so it makes it a good mix. But the freshmen have played very well, and even our first player off the bench is a freshman too. So we're pretty excited about where we're headed, and so we're trying to take one game at a time and see if we can't get better tonight than we were last night in practice. So.
Talking with Daryl Wilderson, head coach of the West York girls, skiing Susquehannock tonight. Daryl, this has been a big rivalry the last few years. Both you and the Warriors have been at the top of the division last several years. The Warriors have had some new faces this year as well, although they again have 3 or 4 people back from last year. What do you need to do tonight against Susquehannock to be successful?
Well, I think we got to get it into our tempo. They're going to try and speed us up with their full court pressure. I mean, I feel certain that they will. We need to play at our pace, which is not necessarily extremely fast, but we don't want to be real slow either. We like to get out and run a little bit, but we don't want it to get chaotic out there, which is what their full court pressure tends to try and do. So we're going to try our best to handle that full court pressure. Once again, that's where the youth comes in. We got to see how they handle it. We're able to handle it very well in practice, but it's a little different situation. So I think they're going to throw some pressure at us that we haven't seen yet. So I'm excited to see how we deal with it and how we handle it and go from there.
All right, Coach, thanks so much and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Back with more of our pregame show after these messages on Sports Radio 1350 and GameTimePA.com.
At Donegal, we understand there are many costs associated with running a business. That's why Donegal works with you to provide quality insurance products based on your business needs, and why we deliver that insurance at a price to fit your budget. Call your local independent Donegal agent today and discover why, when it comes to insurance for your business, Donegal is a better value. Contact Kochman Kunkel Insurance at 717-854-0300 or stop in at 3217 East Market Street, York. Locally owned and operated by Pam and Rudy Kochman. Kochman Kunkel Insurance.
When the time comes to celebrate the life of a loved one, you need someone that understands your needs and provides support while helping you plan during a difficult time. At Ken Worthy Funeral Home, their discreet staff is dedicated to each individual family in helping create a unique service that provides special meaning to you and your loved ones. From service choices to funeral locations, their staff is there to ease the burden throughout the process. They are there for you in your time of need because their family cares about your family. Ken Worthy Funeral Home Incorporated, with facilities in both Hanover and Gettysburg. Visit their website at kenworthyfh.com.
What makes the holiday season special? Not the garland, not the gifts. It's family and friendships that continue, and the new ones that are made.
Flying Feet.
Greg Baum and his staff at Flying Feet ask you to reflect on the true meaning of the season. After all, it's the entire year that makes Christmas special. Greg Baum and his staff at Flying Feet would like to thank you for your patronage and extend their warmest wishes to you and your family. If this is your favorite time of year, share your smile and happiness with those less fortunate. Please fill a donation bucket, give to your favorite charity, or bring a gift to a hospital or nursing home. While you are celebrating the coming of the new year, Flying Feet asks you to take a moment to remember those who don't have someone to share the holiday with. Best wishes for a very happy holiday season and a happy and prosperous new year from Greg Baum's Flying Feet off the Mount Rose exit of I-83 in York.
The home for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Back at West York, Ron Room and Wayne McCullough with you on the Penn State York pregame show. West York, Susquehannock, big division. Game time now for our Kochman Kunkel look around the league. Some key boys games tonight, Wayne. Division I, Northeastern at Central.
Yeah, I find this a very intriguing game. First of all, Central, a very physical team, trying to find themselves a little bit, as they turned over some players. It's tough to replace Jared Wagner off that team. The Bobcats, on the other hand, they're the real deal. I think the Bobcats win big.
All right, Dallastown at York High. That's a big game. Dallastown 4-1. The Bearcats got a big win over Spring Grove.
Yeah. How about those Dallastown Wildcats? Yeah. They are surprising to me. Not necessarily that they're a good team, but that they appear to be an outstanding team. Playing at York in the Bearcat Den. Old doggy, I think that's a tough place to win. What do you think? The Bearcats win maybe double figures.
Okay. West York at Susquehannock. Both teams one win so far this year.
Yeah, this game's at the rock, paper, scissors. Both these teams well coached. The respect I have for John Zorfian and the Susquehannock Warriors. The Warriors are better. They're a 500 team. The Bulldogs, I'm not sure about those Bulldogs yet. I'm going to call us a pick'em game. You pick them.
All right. Suburban at Eastern. Eastern's off to a good 3-1 start. Suburban, Tom Triggs back on the bench, but still looking for his first win this year.
Yeah, Suburban's a young team, changing systems, a little bit more zone defense than they're used to. On the other hand, the Golden Knights really have good skill. They got great guard play. I often say you win high school basketball games with great guard play. Eastern York wins big tonight.
All right, that's our look around the league from Kochman Kunkel. West York Susquehannock girls coming in a few minutes. Take a break. Starting lineups courtesy of Broadway Transmission after this.
Hey, it's the good-looking genius at Broadway Transmission. You know what really grinds my gears? Perfectly good cars being thrown away just because the transmission went bad. My mind slips into overdrive when someone says,
I'll just get a new car before I spend that kind of money on a transmission.
What? According to Kelley Blue Book, the average price of a new car is $32,000. Now you're going to finance that, right? There's another $6,000 to $8,000. And if you drive it off the showroom floor, it loses 20% of its value immediately. Don't forget, you also have to pay sales tax, higher insurance rates, title and registration fees, and come up with $600, $700, $800 a month depending on your interest rates for 5 years. And remember, you will still have to pay for the upkeep of the car, brakes, tires, wipers, fluids, etc. Stop! Trade your transmission, not your car.
Thanks, good-looking genius.
You're welcome, ma'am. Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and save you all that dough. Visit us on the web at trans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
And welcome back to West York, where we have a dandy girls basketball matchup between the Susquehannock Warriors and the West York Bulldogs. Here are the Broadway transition starting lineups. First, for the visiting Susquehannock Warriors with a 2-2 overall record, 1-1 in division play. They're going to start like this: 5'10", sophomore guard forward. I tell you what, she jumps well. Jaden Walker, who's averaging 14.5 points a game. A 5'8" junior forward who's averaging 6 points a game. Anna Mahan. And then the point guard, 5'3", sophomore Jayla Galbraith, who can knock him down from downtown Ollie Brown. And then we got a 5'9", senior center, Tyler Williams. Tyler, the senior, is a 4-year starter for the Susquehannock Warriors. 5'7", senior guard, Taylor Tenora. Now for the West York Bulldogs, are going to start like this. A freshman guard, 5'7", McKenna Hoffman. She is a three-point shooter. 5'9", junior center, Paige Weekly. A 6-foot senior forward, Katie McCarty. A 5'11", freshman forward, Elena Harness. And finally, a 5'8", junior, the point guard, Angie Hawkins. Bulldogs and the Warriors from Dogtown will be right back.
Another plate of cookies and another glass of milk. Oh, that's it. Santa is on strike.
Man, what's going on, dude? You're Santa Claus.
Yes, I am. Are you responsible for this plate of cookies?
Yeah, well, my wife, I poured the milk for you.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't want them.
Santa doesn't want cookies and milk? What, are you watching your figure?
Easy. I haven't actually put your presents under the tree yet, you know.
Sorry, Santa. Did you say you're on strike?
I did.
In my living room?
Look, everywhere I go, it's cookies and milk. Cookies and milk. You think a fella could get a jelly-filled maple donut once in a while, or a chocolate-covered peanut maple donut, or a glazed? Oh, Charlie makes one heck of a glazed maple donut.
But Santa, you have a lot of work to do.
And a hot cup of Maple Donut's famous coffee sure would help. No, sir. This year, Santa wants maple donuts.
Well, we have some glazed maple donuts in the kitchen for Christmas morning. It's sort of a holiday tradition with us.
Oh, isn't that charming? Go get the box.
Maple donuts taste right.
I think I just saved Christmas.
Oh, Merry Maple Donuts! Merry Maple Donuts!
Give the gift of relaxation with a gift card from Serenity Spa and Salon at Heritage Hills, the perfect place to unwind after the holidays. York's largest full-service spa and salon, Serenity Spa offers a wide variety of traditional spa services, including massages and facials, a full range of body treatments complete with a delectable scent of your choice, or create your very own package. Gift cards can be purchased at the salon located at 2700 Mount Rose Avenue or by going to cityspayork.com.
Your county, your teams. Sportio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
All right, a great job on our national anthem. Didn't catch the young lady's name, but fine job. And it's about ready for the WellSpan opening tip. Wayne, we heard from both the coaches. You know these teams pretty well. Your daughter Kelsey's with us here tonight. Played for Susky the last few years. Played with a lot of the West York players in AAU and so on. What's your take on what are the keys tonight?
Well, I think, first of all, the teams are pretty different. And you heard Coach Wilderson talk about that. The Warriors like the full-court pressure, create a lot of offense out of the pressure. The Bulldogs are a little bit different. They'll play half-court, man-to-man, play not mix up the defense quite as often. So I think really the keys for the game for West York is they need to handle the pressure. They need to keep the tempo at their pace, which is a little bit slower. For Susquehannock, they need to create some points out of defense and not with their pressure give up easy points. Because if West York is able to take that pressure and turn it into easy points, it's going to be a win for the Bulldogs.
And one thing, as Dave Shiner mentioned in the interview, he likes to press, he likes to put a lot of pressure on him. He's really only got about 7 deep this year, so that can be an issue because you tend to get fouled when you press.
Well, you're exactly right, and you're right. When you full court pressure like that, and getting fouled when you're not deep, that's not a good situation. So, I mean, that's their mantra, though. So it's hard to turn that on and off in the course of a game. But they'll also play some 2-3 defense, and I think what I've seen with Coach Schreiner is when they do get in foul trouble, he'll tend to come back and pick up a little bit 2-3 zone defense. The trouble is that's not their tempo. That's not how they win games.
Yeah. All right, well, that's the word from our coach here as we get ready for a pretty big Division II game. Both these teams, as we mentioned, pregame, really a transition. Ashley Stone was the leader for Susquehannock the last couple of years. West York sent 4 seniors that really either started or played starter minutes last year, off. So it's a lot of new talent out on the court for both teams. Their first real taste of the varsity game this year, and it sets a different look for these young ladies.
Well, it is, and I think the interesting thing is really the top players on the floor, perhaps the younger player for West York, McKenna Hoffman. I mean, I'm telling you, I saw this girl playing AAU basketball. She has nerves of skill.
Yeah.
You'd love her, Ron. She's one of those girls that'll come down, miss a couple shots, but I'm telling you, when she sees the basket, it's going up, and she's got the ability to knock it down.
Well, there you go.
And then Jaden Walker for the Susquehannock Warriors. She's a sophomore, but I'm telling you, she is an influence player on this floor. She boards, she follows shots, she defends well. So, young players, I think, that'll have a big impact today.
We did this game down at Susquehannock last year, and the freshman at the time, Jayla Galbraith, who came off the bench in that game, and she just had in fact, I think she was our player of the game because of the tremendous impact she had off the bench.
Well, she does, and she has as good a handles as any point guard in the York Adams League. Now, she's not going to surprise anybody anymore.
Right,
and,
that's right.
Last year she was left unguarded on the perimeter now and then. You cannot let her unguarded, but I'm telling you, she can take the ball to the rack very well also.
All right, so there you have it. That's the setup here as we prepare to start our Maple Donuts first half. It's going to be Tyler Williams jumping it against Katie McCarty. We're in the end zone here. The Warriors coming our way. For those of you on radio, they're in the red uniforms with white numbers and trim. West York white unis with the blue numbers and trim. Toss is up. It's controlled by West York, and the Bulldogs will set it up. Man-to-man defense. I posted Paige Weekly and tried to hand it off, but a steal in there for Susky by Anna Mahan. And Jayla Galbraith, the point guard, is back. Picked up by Angie Hawkins. Out front to Taylor Chinar, and then skip it over here to Jaden Walker. Walker to Mahan. High post now to Williams, down the left side to the hoop, took it hard and got it. Nice drive by Tyler Williams.
Tyler Williams, that time from the elbow, closest to the benches on the side of the floor, just caught face, drove to the left side, which is her natural hand. She's a left-hander. She can penetrate outstandingly well.
All right, so 2-0 Warriors with the early bucket here. And West York back now, working around the perimeter. High post to Weekly, feeds it down the lane, and a lot of contact. And drawing the foul, and there's McKenna Hoffman, the freshman, Anna Mahan, whistled for the foul. We mentioned we'll have to watch the foul issues for the Warriors tonight as they're not deep. And Hoffman to the line to shoot 2, where she's 8 of 15 this year.
Yeah, both these teams use their high post and then cut off the high post. We've seen that already. Tyler Williams playing a little high post for the Warriors, and now Paige Weekly, high post for the Bulldogs.
Hoffman hits the first free throw, makes it 2-1 Warriors, 7:09 left in the first quarter.
Anna Mahan, I often describe her as one of the most aggressive players on the floor, but the Warriors do need her to stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah. Second shot off to the left side, rebound fought for inside, batted around, and Mahan able to come out of there with it. And the Warriors run out with Galbraith. West York is back. Tenora crossover dribble in the corner to Galbraith. Picked up there by Hawkins. It goes to Mann between the circles.
I think that's an interesting matchup with Angie Hawkins and Jayla Galbraith out front. It's certainly a size difference.
Yeah. Galbraith giving up about 5 inches on that one. In the corner now, Mann, and trying to feed it to low post to Jaden Walker, and she's fouled from behind. It's going to be Elena Harris, I believe it is. That's her first, 5'11", another freshman.
She did. She got caught behind the post player just a couple feet out from the block, and instead of moving her feet and getting out and contesting the pass, she tried to reach from behind, which even if there's not a whole lot of contact, that's usually a whistle.
Walker to inbound and under the Warrior hoop. Oh, Nice play, but Maine unable to catch the inbound pass picked up by Tyler Williams. She lost it on the way up. Grabbed by Paige Weekly, and the Bulldogs run. They get out to Hoffman. Hoffman feeds it across the lane to McCarty, but too high, and that'll get back over to the Warriors.
Yeah, I think you saw right there why Coach Wilderson doesn't like to push the tempo too much. Sometimes your young players in transition don't always make a wise decision, and quite honestly, that was really a play that McKenna Hoffman probably should have gone up and hit a 10-foot jump shot.
Galbraith walks it up for the Warriors. It's 2-1. Susky a minute and a half in here. Get it to Walker on the left side. She drives to the baseline, but is cut off by Harris. Skips it back out to Mann. They reverse it over here to Tenor. Head fake, drives to the hoop. Nice head fake, takes it up, puts it up last. Didn't get the roll, though, and the rebound by Paige Weekly.
Good dribble penetration by Taylor Tenor, and she's the one Warriors get good points out of them. Last year she's averaging close to 10 points. This year it's only around 4 points a game.
Yeah, that was a nice move, just unable to finish. Right side now, Hawkins hypers to Weekly again, feeds on the left side to McKenna, but Galbraith is there. Back out to Weekly. Page's shot from the top of the key, airballed it, and McCarty tried to save it, but unable to do so, stepped on the baseline, so it's Warrior ball.
Well, Paige Weekly does have the ability to step outside and hit that jump shot. That time it was nothing there, but you got to honor that shot out of Paige Weekly.
Yeah. Left side now, Jaden Walker, the three-point line, overplayed by Harris to cut off the drive with the right hand. Back out to Tenora. Taylor on the dribble. Gives it up to Walker.
These teams do a lot of dribble handoffs on the perimeter and then try to get the ball to the basket.
Tenora in the corner, cut off by Hoffman in a little bit of trouble, but pulls it back out to the center line and off to Mahan on the right side here. She gets a screen, give and go there with Williams in the paint. Can't get it to go, though, and Weekly with her third rebound. Angie Hawkins pushes it for West York, but they'll hold and set up now as the Warriors get back.
West York in kind of a 1-3 set. They got Weekly at the high post, two wings, and a low post player as well.
Harris drives into the paint, feeds it out to Weekly on the baseline, head fake, but Mahan stays with her. He gets it out to Harris. Her jumper from the free throw line won't go. A long rebound to Taylor Tenora, and she pushes it. But Hoffman's back. They feed it to Williams down the lane. Got the runner. Nice give and go that time. Williams with the bucket. Nice feed by Taylor Tenora.
Taylor Tenora has played a lot of point guard with Jayla Galbraith. She's kind of moved to a two position, so she knows how to handle the ball in transition. That time, change of speed. Find Tyler Williams heading to the middle of the basket.
And Williams aggressive, taking it to the hoop. She's got both Susky's basket. It's 4-1 Warriors here. As Hawkins drives, feeds it to Weekly, takes it to the hoop, lost it in the paint, and the Warriors come out of there with it. Tyler Williams back to Jayla Galbraith, pops a three from the left side, a little strong, rebound. Williams had it, lost it, and it comes out to Angie Hawkins.
Here comes West York in transition.
Hoffman taking it to the hoop, is knocked away and goes off Hoffman's leg. Good defense by Tenora there, getting back on the fast break.
Well, we've seen West York push the ball up the floor in transition twice now. Both times in 4 minutes in the game have resulted in turnovers.
4-1 Warriors halfway through the first quarter here. So West York struggling offensively. Mahan at post, hands it off to Galbraith, and she is doubled momentarily, goes back to Anna Mahan between the circles.
The Bulldogs try to fan the ball on the outside perimeter of the floor and then double team at the baseline.
Galbraith on the dribble, gives it to Tenora. Hawkins on her. Taylor reverses, comes down the right side in the corner. Galbraith for three, off the back of the rim. Good play, but couldn't get it to go. Rebound by Katie McCarty. Bulldogs push it to get it ahead to Hoffman. McKenna skips it over here to Elena Harris.
Coach Wilderson on a set play from the bench, wants the Bulldogs to regroup out here and run a half-court set.
Hoffman left side now to Angie. Hawkins, Tenora on her, playing beyond the arc right now. High post to Weekly. Out to Hoffman. Hoffman does not take the screen, goes right side down the paint. Her runner from 12 won't go. Good strong rebound there by Jaden Walker. And here come the Warriors. In the front court quickly, Mahan tried to feed it across the court to Tenora, but knocked out on by Angie Hawkins. It'll stay with Warriors under their hoop. They still lead it 4-1 with 3:03 left in first.
Kind of interesting so far. Both these teams having trouble getting points on the board. Quite honestly, a few turnovers, but really some missed shots that normally would go in as well.
Steal by Katie McCarty on the inbounds pass. And here come the Bulldogs now. Hoffman back to McCarty. Bull to hoop here. They haven't really had a good look at the bucket the last few games down. Right side, Hawkins into the corner, now out to Paige Weekly. Oh, they got McCarty in the low post. They get it to her. She spins on Williams. Left-handed shot won't go, though. Rebound is pulled in by Tenora. Taylor feeds it on to Mahan on the break. A little too far, and did she save it? She apparently did. Threw it off of Paige Weekly.
both these teams trying to get in transition, but really have ended up with bad passes, passing ahead on the floor. Warriors able to get the ball back in that situation.
Jaden Walker looking to inbound it. Now gets it to Mann in the mid-post. Back to Walker on the baseline, but nothing there. Back to Mann. A jumper. That's a 2, but that won't go either. Weekly, her 4th rebound. And out of bounds, but knocked out by the Warriors. I mean, both these teams have had some good shots, good drives to the hoop, just can't get it to go.
Yeah, it might be a little pre-Christmas, here comes Santa Claus jitters, you know. I mean, I've got a couple jitters thinking of Santa, right. So how about you?
Oh, yeah, always.
All right.
Hope I don't know which list I'm on.
Unfortunately.
Hawkins with it now, feeding to McCarty in the low post with a foul, and that's Anna May in second, reaching over from behind. So that could be an issue for the Warriors, and Dave Schreiner's going to go to his bench.
Yeah, you talk about good post defense. I mean, when the ball jumps below the foul line, you got to position your feet to get the foot nearest the baseline out in that contesting passing lane. This time, Anna Mahan got caught behind and picks up her 2nd foul. They need her on the floor. That hurts.
5'8" junior Maddie Stone replaces her now. Warriors still up 4-1, though. 2:15 left in the first. They go to Angie Hawkins at the top of the, Elena Harris. She'll dribble it back out and reset.
You know, next match I think is McKenna Hoffman, who's averaging almost 12 points a game, a good three-point shooter, and they have Jayla Galbraith matched up against her.
And McCarty lost it, dribbling down. Tyler Williams slapped it away, and here comes Susquehannock. Now Galbraith behind the back dribble. In the corner here, Stone, and she traveled. Left foot up, but she's tried to make the move.
Well, they're a different team with Maddie Stone on the floor replacing Anna Mahan. More of a perimeter game, and that is Maddie Stone. She can knock down that shot.
Daryl Wilderson takes a timeout. It's 4-1 Susquehannock, 1:48 left in the first. You're listening to the high school basketball game of the week presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine on Sports Radio 1350 and GameTimePA.com.
Stony Brook Family Restaurant, located at 3560 East Market Street in York, is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Completely remodeled, Stony Brook is the home of good food and hospitality at reasonable prices. Proudly serving the York area for over 30 years, Stony Brook is family-owned and now also serves beer and wine. For home cooking, homemade soup, steaks, seafood, our famous roasted chicken, or just about anything, visit Stony Brook Family Restaurant, 3560 Market Street in York.
Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WIK. First in York, first in sports.
And we're back in West York. Room and Wayne McCullough with you. 1:40 left in the first quarter. 4-1 Susquehannock leading the West York girls, and both teams struggling offensively, Wayne. Some bad shooting stats.
They are.
Right
Kelsey
now.
Jean on the stats. Yeah. 2 of 11 combined for these teams. 8 turnovers combined.
Hoffman's 3 rimmed out. McCarty with the offensive rebound, but it's taken away by Jaden Walker. And back comes Susky. So the defenses are prevailing. The offenses are struggling right now.
I think West York got the shot they wanted out of that timeout anyway.
A deep 3, a 3 by Walker, but that won't go. 5th rebound by Paige Weekly. And Jim Harden says he just saw Aunt Nellie in a Santa suit. I don't know about that. Boy.
I believe that.
Oh, my gosh.
I think Aunt Nellie and Santa, they
go back.
They go back way. Aunt Nellie's cookies are pretty doggone good.
I'll bet they are. All right, still 4-1. Last minute of the first quarter. There's McCarty. Turns around, 10-foot jumper. Bang, that won't go. Rebound to Tenora.
Well, McCarty with a curl cut off of Paige Weekly at the top of the key. Had a little 6-foot jumper right at the edge of the paint and could knock it down.
A 3 by Maddie Stone. That rims out. Nobody can get anything to go, but Stone follows her shot, and Warriors will have another look at it. To Walker on baseline, and Tenora takes it up and draws the foul. So good ball movement by the Warriors, and Taylor Tenora is going to get 2 free throws. The West York foul is on Angie Hawkins, and that for Angie will be her first.
Taylor Tenora going down. She has fought through some ankle issues all through soccer season. She was a all-state soccer player for the Susquehannock Warriors, so unfortunately, it looks like maybe her ankle at this point.
The left ankle they're looking at. Trainers out there with head coach Dave Scheiner. So she took the the hit when she went up. The foul was in the upper body, but I think then she landed probably hard on that ankle coming down. So
yeah, I've coached against Coach Wilderson many years, even when he coached boys all the way back at the Lone Catholic, and I can tell you that's one of the rare times West York gives up an offensive rebound. Any Coach Wilderson team, and I know that's on his list right now as he gathers with this team.
35 seconds left in the first quarter. It's a low-scoring game, 4-1. Susquehannock leading West York here, and Taylor Tenora will get up now and gets a nice hand from the crowd and gingerly walk off, so we'll see. And seems to be walking a little better as she moves toward the sideline, so hopefully it's something she can shake off. But
isn't it one of the most interesting things about basketball, though? This game's not going to end up 16-4.
Right.
I mean, it's probably going to be in the 40s, obviously. No. Isn't it amazing how all of a sudden the lid comes off a basket somewhere in the game, and it seems like all of a sudden settle in and get good looks and start knocking them down, and the same player that missed one or two all of a sudden knocks two or three down in a row. It's one of the things that always amazed me about the great game of basketball.
And they had good shots, and they've not been, they've been rimming out. So Maggie Sisler will come on, and she'll shoot the free throws for Taylor Chinora. Maggie, a 5'6" junior, so she'll shoot 2 free throws off the bench, and she hits it. There you go.
Her first free throws of the season. That's pretty good for Maggie. She comes right off that bench and knocks them down. The Warriors now up 5-1.
That's one off the back of the rim, but the rebound is batted out to Sisler. Puts up a 12-footer. That won't go. And the ball is loose on the floor, and it's picked up there by McKenna Hoffman. She takes it down the right side and pops a 12-footer, and there it goes. Maybe that, Wayne.
That is McKenna Hoffman. She is able to shoot that jump shot in transition like very few boys or girls in the York Adams League. And when she gets uncorked, she can put some points on the board.
Look at coast to coast here. Here's Sisler down the left side. That's short. McCarty with the rebound. There's 7 seconds left. They push it down to Harris. Harris took a dribble now to Paige Weekly. They're going to have to shoot. Oh, nice feed by Weekly, and McCarty hits the layup at the buzzer.
Yeah, absolutely. Weekly caught the ball at the foul line, turned around, almost was surprised to find her wide open under the basket.
Well, it's 5-all after 1 quarter, and the offenses are starting to heat up. Susquehannock, West York, second quarter comes next on the Maple Donuts first half on the high school basketball game of the week, presented by Wellspan Sports Med on Sports Radio 1350 and GameTimePA.com.
Donegal offers car and homeowners insurance at rates that are very competitive. So competitive that Donegal's car insurance rates are among the lowest in the state. And if you insure your car and home with Donegal, Donegal will take up to an additional 10% off their already list. Donegal, a better value. Contact Coatman Kunkel Insurance at 717-854-0300 or stop in at 3217 East Market Street, York. Locally owned and operated by Pam and Rudy Kochman. Coatman Kunkel Insurance.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
And we're back at West York. Ron Roon and Wayne McCullough here, ready to start the second period. It's 5-5, Susquehannock and West York. Both teams struggling offensively in that first 8 minutes, but started to come alive there toward the end. Wayne?
Yeah, the Warriors shooting 60%, 2 of 12 from the field. Fortunately, they knocked down a couple of foul shots. But the interesting thing about that, Ron, is those points scored in the last 30 seconds and kind of all of a sudden the clock started winding down. They lose up. So the Warriors with the ball, tied up 5-5. Here with the call, the best of business, Ron Ruman.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot. Warriors with it now. Up front is Maddie Stone. She gives it up to Galbraith for 3 on the side, and there you go.
Yeah.
Jayla Galbraith.
Well, one of the few times that but Angie left her open, and you cannot let her on that three-point line.
8-3 of the year by Galbraith, and it's 8-5 Warriors, and we have a carrying violation against Angie Hawkins. That will turn it back over to Susquehannock.
Yeah, that time Angie Hawkins trying to dribble, but she wasn't penetrating. She was just kind of going around the perimeter looking for a little game. I think Daryl Wilderson will try to get the ball inside a little bit here to start the second half.
Galbraith out front. Guard Hawk gives it up to Maddie Stone. Stone's played well since she's come off the bench. Double team to Galbraith, and she fed it to Walker, but she took a step as she tried to make the pass to Tyler Williams, cutting down the lane, and that turns it over to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Jaden Walking kind of did a little crow's hop after she caught the ball about 8 feet from the basket, and you can have a pivot foot, but you can't pick them both and go somewhere.
Yeah, crow's hop. I haven't heard that
crow's hop, yeah.
All right. Bulldogs with 5. They feed it to McCarty, but pass was too high from Paige Weekly. He's picked up Tyler Williams, her second steal. And they get it off to Jayla Galbraith now. Sophomore dribbling out front, gives it up to Jaden Walker. The key Tyler Williams. And to Matt Stone, still beyond the three-point line. Stone dribbles and off to Williams, who drives baseline, and there's a foul, I believe, blocking foul on Angie, Helena Harris. Get it sooner or later. That's her second.
Well, one thing you know for sure, when Tyler Williams catches the ball in the perimeter, that's not her game. She's not going to get that jump shot. She's going to lower her shoulder a little bit and get the ball in the basket. So you got to get your hands up and get your feet square.
Emma Tyndall in for the Bulldogs now, replacing Harris. Galbraith out front with Hawkins on her, and that is a good duel. And by McCarty, good alert defense by Katie McCarty, and the 6-foot senior into the front court, gives it back to Angie Hawkins. There's a one, McKenna Hoffman on the left side for three, and it's good.
Yeah, there's two people on this floor you can't get open, and there's one of them, and it's McKenna Hoffman. She's got 8 threes for the season and just knocked down one here tonight.
So 8 now, 6:15 left in the second quarter. Breath out with Hawkins on her. Williams beyond the arc. And back center circle is Sisler and over to Maddie Stone. Stone with Emma Tyndall on her, and there's Williams down lane, banged into Paige Weekly, but still made shot. Tyler Williams, nice feed by Maddie Stone, her second assist.
Tyler Williams curling down lane, a left-handed shot off the back. A little bit of contact there with Paige Weekly, but Williams knocked it down.
Sisler on the assist, my bad. 10-8 Susquehannock. Yeah, it was more than a little contact there. Great concentration by Williams. Hawkins on the right elbow now, top of the key. She traveled before she started to move around Maddie Stone that time, so another turnover, and here come the Warriors.
Yeah, West York kind of running a 2-5 initial set, and when the ball gets reversed, they try to cut off Weekly, and if you help, the ball goes in, but Weekly facing the basket traveled.
High post Williams, she dribbled against Weekly, but lost it on the floor, and we're going to have a held ball. Now McKenna Hoffman in some distress down there. She went down and she got maybe knee contact or something like that. It hurts like there may be an arm here.
Yeah, it looks like her shoulder a little bit, yeah.
Oh, she is in some definite pain. She will come out now, and Arian Williams will replace her, and so McKenna Hoffman will get some attention here on the bench with the shoulder injury.
Both these teams missing key people. Taylor went down for the Warriors. Now McKenna Hoffman down with the Bulldogs.
Emma Tyndall with it out front. On the dribble, started by Walker, gets it up to McCarty. Kitty McCarty now. Over to Angie Hawkins between the circles now. And the back cut there to Elena Harris, driving the bucket, and she hit it. I'm sorry, that was Arian Williams on a beautiful back cut. Nice feed by Hawkins.
Well done. It's a perfect Princeton cut. When the ball handler dribbles at you, you want to take one step at him and cut. Well executed by the Bulldogs.
10-10, 4:48 left in the first half. Got the crowd a little excited here. Galbraith, the 15-foot shot. It is good. Like Galbraith starting to heat it up a little bit here now, and it is 12-10 Warriors.
Yeah, that time Angie Hawkins kind of dove at the pass, missed it, and Jayla had a nice little open jump shot, did Jayla Galbraith.
McCarty to Hawkins. Now Hawkins off to Tyndall as they run the weave out front. Pass to McCarty. McCarty to the throw line, pulls up from there from 15, off the back of the iron, no. And a tough rebound inside by Tyler Williams. The 5'9" senior pushes it to Jayla Galbraith.
I call Williams a human pogo stick. I mean, she jumps well, plays physical underneath the basket.
Foul, reach-in foul on Katie McCarty. That'll be her first and the team's fourth, so the Warriors will have it side out.
It's kind of interesting. We haven't seen any full-court pressure by Susquehannock at all. Coach Reiner's saying they're trying to find themselves a little bit what's best, and certainly with two starters on the bench, one in foul trouble, the other perhaps with an injured ankle, Taylor Tenora, their half court needs to be more effective.
Near still by Williams, but Sis saved it, and he's swinging around the perimeter in the corner. Jaden Walker for three. It is good. Jaden Walker's 8th three of the year, and the Warriors open up a 15-10.
Well, you think of sophomore Gayla Walker as kind of an inside post player, but she can step out and knock down a jump shot, and that time she knocked down a three.
Good ball by the Warriors that time as well. Weekly high post feeds it to McCarty and low post. Lost it momentarily. Now drives on the baseline in traffic, takes it up and hits it.
Yeah, very nice job. Well done, playing hard. Good basket, good hard take to the basket.
Warriors high post Williams. She dribbles across lane, gets it out to Walker for another three, and Jaden has two in a row.
Yeah, we knew all of a sudden the lid would come off that basket. Yep. Sure enough, for Jaden Walker, she can knock down shots. She's coming into the game averaging 4.5 a game, leading the Warriors, and you can see why right now.
She has 6 on 2 threes. 3 minutes left in that. 18-12 Susky. Low post to Arian Williams. Nice feed by Hawkins, and Williams draws the foul on Jayla Galbraith down there. And it'll be 2 shots coming for Arian Williams. For Galbraith, that's her first personal. And Arian Williams just 1 of 2 at the line in the early going this season.
Nice job by Arian Williams recognizing that her defender had her back turned to her, flash cut hard across the lane. caught the basket at about the low block and turned and went up strong and got fouled.
And the 5'5 senior hits the first, so she has 3 points off the bench for Daryl Wilderson. And a short rebound. Williams comes out of there with it. It was with Paige Weekly. Oh, and she threw it behind Galbraith, who wasn't looking for it, but Williams has to save it. Galbraith feeds it to Stone, cutting down the lane, who hits the layup.
Well, the Warriors just on the floor after the loose balls, and Maddie Williams kept filling the lane, and Maddie Stone fills the basket.
13 Warriors by 7 now with 2:35 left here in the Maple Donuts first half. Left side of Emma Tyndall. She looks it over. Feeds it high post to Paige Weekly, but a little hard, and Weekly unable to catch it, and McCarty with her third steal gets it ahead to Tyler Williams. The Warriors looking to establish a pretty good lead here. Stone drives, had it knocked away. Walker saved it, gets it to Williams in the paint. She's fouled as she took it up aggressively, and that could be Williams or Weekly. We'll see who they get here on the foul. And that was, not sure.
Yeah, I want to say they called on Arian Williams.
Yes, they did. Her first. And so Tyler Williams' left-handed free throw is good. And so Williams has 7 to lead the Warriors now, and it's an 8-point Susquehannock lead with 2:15 left. Paige Weekly to the bench.
Yeah, we're now at 21-13. All of a sudden, both these teams able to put up points. Foul-free game. For the most part, only 8 fouls total for the game here in the first half.
5'10 freshman Alyssa Zorba checks in for Paige Weekly for York. It's a 9-point Warrior lead now, 22-13. Added away by Stone, but saved. McCarty high post in the paint, turns, puts up a 12-foot jumper and got it. Nice shot by McCarty over Tyler Williams.
Yeah, well done. She caught the ball about 10 feet from the basket, pivoted face, gave it a nice, good size as she hit a little 10-foot jumper.
Walker drives, gets it back out to Williams, now top of the key zone. Drives to the right side, try to give and go with Williams, but Arian Williams is there for the steal. And here come the Bulldogs. They push it, Emma Tyndall front court. Back to Angie Hawk, now to Arian Williams, left side McCarty. Tyler Williams takes it all the way to the hoop, and they call a traveling violation as she picked it up one extra step before she took the shot.
You know, I was about ready to say the turnovers lessened, but all of a sudden the Bulldogs turn it over, the Warriors come down and turn it over as well, both teams.
1:25 left in the half, Warriors by 7. Jane Legal with a sophomore point guard to Maddie Stone near half court. Off to Maggie Sisler. Sisler looking it over, and Williams on her. Back to Galbraith with Hawkins. As we mentioned, a good point guard matchup. Jaden Walker with it, batted away Carty, but Walker saves.
Both Sisler and Stoll off the bench have been very, very strong for the Warriors.
Walker picks it up now, feeds it high post to Williams, off to Sisler. Left side in the corner, near steal out front by Hawkins. Galbraith saves it. 54 seconds left in the half. And Galbraith with it. Galbraith has a lane down the right side, feeds it in the corner to Stone for an open three. Airballed it too strong, and ball out of bounds off Maggie Sisler, so it's West York ball with 43 seconds left.
Yeah, the Warriors got a good shot, good penetration by Jalen. Galbraith kicks it out, and Maddie Stone, normally a pretty good shooter, but coming off the bench, she was not able to get any room that time.
Crossover by Hawkins against Sisler, down the lane, all the way to the hoop, left it short though, and a rebound by Taylor Williams. Galbraith with it. 28 seconds in the half. Walker has a lane down right side, but is cut off by the help from Arian Williams. Feeds it across the baseline, but knocked out of bounds by Tyndall. Will stay with the Warriors with 21 seconds left.
I tell you, give credit, Paige, not Paige, but Angie Hawkins is a great dribble penetrator, and that was really the first time all night she's been able to get to the bat. So credit Jaden Walker. I'm sorry, not Jaden Walker, but Jalen Galbraith. Nice job defending her.
We have a timeout taken by Dave Schreiner. We'll take it as well. 21 seconds before halftime, the Warriors are up by 7.
Ready or not, winter driving is on its way. So allow the service professionals at Fink's Garage to check your vehicle to make sure it's ready for the weather that's sure to be coming. We can check your tires, coolant, belts and hoses, battery, and other maintenance needs so that you can be confident about your car for winter. Call Fink's Garage at 717-854-5175. That's 854-5175 to schedule your winter checkup. Remember, being broken down stinks. Let us repair your car at Fink's.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
All right, it's going to be ball under their hoop. Coach they going to run out of here?
Yeah, I think with 21 seconds, you want to try to get a good look. They'll probably do a little screener action. But if you don't get it, you want to pull down and get the last shot.
Get it to Williams in the low post. Shoot her shot short, though, and a rebound by McCarty. And got it into where they wanted it, but couldn't finish. So the Bulldogs will have a chance for the last shot. 10 seconds left. Hawkins out front to Emma Tyndall. Tyndall on the dribble to the free throw line. Feeds it inside to McCarty. Puts it up and hits it off. Sorry, that was Zorba. Zorba with 1 second left to heave at the buzzer. Oh! Galbraith hit the rim from three-quarter court, but it did not go. So the offenses did come alive in the second quarter as Susquehannock puts up 17-12 for West York, and at the break, Warriors lead at 22-17. The Flying Feet halftime show coming your way next on Sports Radio 1350 and GameTimePA.com on the high school basketball game of the week presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine.
What makes the holiday season special? Not the garland, not the gifts. It's family and friendships that continue, and the new ones that are made. Flying Feet. Greg Baum and his staff at Flying Feet ask you to reflect on the true meaning of the season. After all, it's the entire year that makes Christmas special. Greg Baum and his staff at Flying Feet would like to thank you for your patronage and extend their warmest wishes to you and your family. If this is your favorite time of year, share your smile and happiness with those less fortunate. Please fill a donation bucket, give to your favorite charity, or bring a gift to a hospital or nursing home. While you are celebrating the coming of the new year, Flying Feet asks you to take a moment to remember those who don't have someone to share the holiday with. Best wishes for a very happy holiday season and a happy and prosperous new year from Greg Baum's Flying Feet off the Mount Rose exit of I-83 in York.
Mornings at 9. Dan Patrick on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
And we're back at West York. Ron Ruben, Wayne McCullough here on the Flying Feet halftime show with Susquehannock leading West York 22-17, a big girls Division II matchup. Warriors coming in 2-2 overall, 1-1 in the league. West York 4-1 and 2-1. It's a slow start for both teams, just 5-5. The offense is starting to get on track there in the second quarter with the Warriors putting up 17 and the Bulldogs 12. As Wayne mentioned, sometimes when the lid comes off the basket, then that will open it up. And so we started to see that there as we went through the second quarter. And, Wayne, I think also good, a little sloppy on both sides, but also some good defense played by both teams.
Well, I think so, and I think, let's talk about the sloppiness. West York turned the ball over 11 times. You want to be in the low double figures for an entire game.
Right.
Susquehannock's on pace. They started out sloppy, but then I thought handled the ball much better. West York's got to limit the turnovers in order to get themselves back in this game. But again, credit both defenses. These teams try hard. What happened a long time ago, years ago, used to see the dribble handoffs and the weave out front, and it's kind of come back. And the whole reason that's come back is people try to come off those weaves and get dribble penetration, obviously. But neither team has really been able to penetrate effectively tonight, so credit both defenses for that.
All right, it's 22-17 Warriors at halftime. Flying Feet halftime show. Take a break and back with our halftime stats, courtesy of Fink's Garage. After this, you're listening to the high school basketball game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine on Sports Radio 1350 and GameTimePA.com.
Penn State York is a great place to start your Penn State education close to home. Penn State York offers 10 baccalaureate degrees, 8 baccalaureate minors, 5 two-year associate degrees, and 1 master's degree. The campus also offers the first 2 years of most of Penn State's more than 106 baccalaureate degree majors. But York campus offers so much more than just academics. You can compete in intercollegiate athletics in 6 sports, 3 for women, 3 for men, as part of the Penn State University Athletic Conference. There are also 2 dozen different clubs on campus, ranging from academic pursuits to photography to live theater to student government. And of course, you can be a part of FAWN to fight pediatric cancer. Whatever your interests, you can pursue them at Penn State York, and you'll have a prestigious Penn State degree to launch your professional career. Find out more at york.psu.edu. To apply, click on the green Apply Now tab at the top of the homepage. Penn State York. Everything Penn State, right here in York County.
First in York, first in sport. Radio 1350 WOIK.
All righty, welcome back to West York. Ron Ruben and McCullough here. It's halftime And Susquehannock leading West York 22-17. Time now for our halftime stats, courtesy of Fink's Garage. We'll start with the Warriors.
All right, first for the Warriors of Susquehannock, they were 8 of 22 from the field, shooting 36%. They were led by Tyler Williams, a 5'9" senior center with 8 points. Jaden Walker, the sophomore 5'10" guard forward with 6 points. To Galbraith with 5. Maddie Stone coming off the bench with 2, and Maggie Sisler coming off the bench has 1 point. The Warriors with 22 points. They've turned the ball over 6 times.
All right, rebounding wise for the Warriors, Tyler Williams and Taylor Tenora each with 3, and Jayla Galbraith a couple of assists, and Tyler Williams 2 steals for the Warriors. The Bulldogs of West York.
All right, the Bulldogs of West York. First of all, the most important stat, we talked about it earlier, they have turned the ball over 11 times, and because of that, even though they shot 45% from the field, they're 7 of 16. So the Warriors have 6 more shots from the field. You win basketball games by possession.
Yeah.
Probably not much different than football as well.
True.
You win by possession. So here are the Bulldogs. They are led in scoring by the 5'7" freshman guard McKenna Hoffman. Has she knocked down a 3? Unfortunately, she went off the floor late in the second quarter with a shoulder injury. The Bulldogs need her to get some play in the second half. Also, Katie McCarty with 6 points. Most of those, not most of those, all those inside the block. Alyssa Zorbal comes off the bench. She has 2, and Arian Williams off the bench for 3 for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs, probably most importantly, have no points out of Paige Weekly, no points out of Angie Hawkins. Both those starters, they need points out of to get out of this gym with a win tonight.
All right, also for the Bulldogs tonight, Paige Weekly with 5 rebounds and Katie McCarty with 4 for them. McCarty with 3 steals and Angie Hawkins with a couple of assists. Those are your halftime stats from Fink's Garage. Warriors leading by 5. We're going to take a break, come back with our York Traditions Bank Time Scoreboard Show and our coach's pep talk after this.
Good-looking genius at Broadway Transmission. You know what really grinds my gears? Perfectly good cars being thrown away just because transmission went bad. My mind slips into overdrive when someone says,
I'll just get a new car before I spend that kind of money on a transmission.
What? According to Kelley Blue Book, the average price of a new car is $32,000. You're going to finance that, right? There's another $6,000 to $8,000. And if you drive it off the showroom floor, it loses 20% of its value immediately. Don't forget, you also have to pay sales tax, higher insurance rates, title and registration fees, and come up with $600, $700 a month depending on your interest rates for 5 years. And remember, you will still have to pay for the upkeep of the car, brakes, tires, wipers, fluids, etc. Stop! Trade your transmission, not your car.
Thanks, good-looking genius.
You're welcome, ma'am. Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shit together and save you all dough. Visit us on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
And back at West York, Ron Ruben and Wayne McCullough here. Susquehannock girls leading West York 22-17 at the break here in Flying Pete halftime show. Our York Traditions Bank halftime scoreboard show. We're running ahead of a lot of the games tonight, but Anton Johnson is down in the rock, and the boys playing the game that other side of this one, and West York leading Susquehannock 22-21 at the half, so that's a good one. And Anthony Nello is over at York Catholic, the Irish, looking to go 3-1 on the season, up on Bermudian Big 36-15 at the half. Our intern,
I think they're finding Irish as good as anybody in all divisions in the York Adams League.
Really?
Oh my goodness, good guard play, good forward play. They're the real deal this year.
All right. Also, Cade Burdett reporting from Northeastern Central, 35-34 at the half. That's a dandy. That's a Central.
Yeah, and that's certainly not the number of points that's to keep aiming within. But
you're right.
I'm not so sure you're going to keep Northeastern in the 60s anymore.
It doesn't seem like it. And our interns will have reports on the station tomorrow. Josh Layton just reporting in that Eastern leading Suburban 29-13 at the half as the Knights look to go 4-1. So tune in for their report. A couple other scores. Dover leading Gettysburg 20-14 at the half, and New Oxford leading Spring Grove second quarter 20-15. I guess they're for real, Wayne.
Yeah, how about those Circletown boys? You do not think that they're going to hold Spring Grove down to that few points, obviously, but they are the real deal. The Circletown boys of New Oxford Colonial.
I think so, and the Oxford Girls also doing very well. They're leading Spring Grove 16-11 in the second quarter. Delone is Littlestown 54-29. Eastern up on 8 in the second. Dover leading Gettysburg 8-7. in the second quarter, and that's what we have on our scoreboard show from York Traditions Bank at the half. We're going to take a break, come back with the coach's pep talk in the second half after this, the high school basketball game of the week presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine.
My name is Lou Laviton. I own a company called Circle Wash. We're a professional mobile pressure washing company, and I've been a customer of York Traditions 5 years. We have fuel cards, we have a credit card, checking, we have small business loans, and the credit card deposit account, and it's real easy to keep everything together on the online system. Small business owners have to be realistic. There are bumps in the road. Cash flow, purchasing of equipment, and what's been really interesting with York Traditions is you call them in good times, that's always great, you do your reviews, but what's best is when you call them when things are rough and you need help, because these guys also serve as good advisors for small business, and you're not judged, it's simply working together for a good solution, side by side. When things are tough is where a bank will shine. It really is about building the relationship, and this is what York Tradition does. Small business has to appreciate.
Transition to traditions today. York Tradition Bank. Member FDC Equal Opportunity Lender.
Your county, your teams. 1550 OYK. First in York, first in sports.
Ready to start the second half with Susquehannock leading West York 22-7. Right, Wayne, pep talk, what was Daryl Wilderson talking about in there?
Yeah, you could see him trying to do it at the end of the second quarter, get more post play. If you're not shooting well from the perimeter, you're not able to get penetration, you got to enter off the post, and West York was able to do that a couple of times at the end of the second quarter.
Ball knocked out of bounds, still with the Bulldogs. How about Dave Schreiner? What was he talking about with the Warrior girls?
Yeah, I think you want to continue to try to get dribble penetration, get to the front a little bit to create a few more points.
All right, Warrior basketball leading 5-5. Anna Mahan, who was on the bench for a good chunk of the second quarter. 3 out front by Tyler Williams. It's short. Katie McCarty with her 5th rebound. And Angie Hawkins for the Bulldogs.
You talk about dribble penetration. This point guard, West York, is outstanding. Angie Hawkins, she needs to get in that paint and create something right now.
Feed it inside to Paige Weekly. She got position on Mahan, and Mahan with the 2 fouls had to back off. So Weekly taking advantage of it, hits the bucket, and the Bulldogs claw back to within 3.
Well, right away we saw an adjustment. Paige Weekly played all at the top of the foul line the whole first half. That time she's playing at the block, trying to get the ball underneath to get some offense going.
And they mentioned, Anna Mahan with 2 fouls can't be aggressive defensively. Top of the key, she'll take a fee. It rims out though. Box out by the freshman Alyssa Zorba, and she's out with the Bulldogs, but the ball, but threw it behind Angie Hawkins, so they turn it back over.
Yeah, and that's what the Bulldogs have to stop this half. They took the ball over double figures the first half. And that one's unforced. That's just a little outlet pass. No reason to turn that thing over.
Jade Albreth with it out front, 22-19, leading opening minute of the second half. Maggie Sisler out there, so Taylor Tenora has not returned, so unfortunately she may have an ankle situation. Again, the left ankle that she injured as she was fouled earlier in the second quarter.
Yeah, Maggie Sisler can defend. She showed that in the first half. She's strong with the basketball, so other than a few points they're going to lose, Maggie did a nice job.
Jayla Galbraith crossover against Hawkins, feeds it all the way across the lane. Here's Sisler's baseline jumper from 16, won't go. Another good box out by Zorba for her second rebound.
I think the Warriors cannot settle for that perimeter shot. They've come down 3 possessions, 2 threes. That was just inside the 3. They need to continue to work inside.
Paige Weekly jumper from the free throw line won't go. Good looking shot, but didn't fall. Rebound by Jade Walker. They get it up quickly to the Warriors. Williams drives baseline, feeds it across the baseline to Sisler, and she hits it.
Maggie Sisler coming off the bench. We talk about the Warriors with good shot selection. Well, any shot that goes down is pretty daggone good shot selection.
Nice pass by Jaden Walker, who drove and threw it about 30 feet across the baseline.
The Warriors now up by 6. Yeah. Well, and then McKenna Hoffman not on the floor at either for the Bulldogs. Their specialist.
Hirsch injured a left shoulder, and the Bulldogs turned it over against this defense. Hoffman.
I'm
not sure now. So he injured the left shoulder in the half, and I believe the Warriors went 2-3 zone there, did not win?
They did, yeah. They were playing a 2-3 zone.
All right. The Warriors back by 6 now, and Sisler, who's played well off the bench, gives it to Mahan between circles. Anna on left-handed dribble, hands it to Jaden Walker. Crosses over and is cut off there by Elena Harris. Driving on the baseline is Tyler Williams. She's cut off double-teamed and throws it away as they steal by Angie Hawkins. Hawkins going coast to coast, puts it up, doesn't get it to go, but draws the foul on Jayla Galbraith, and Angie Hawkins will shoot 2 free throws.
Well, that was the first time we saw the Warriors really spread the floor on offense. They were playing 5 people outside the 3-point line. And Tyler Williams trying to get to dribble penetration. That's Daryl Wilderson defense. When the ball's baseline, they double team it. That resulted in a turnover.
Hawkins hits the first free throw. That's Angie's first point tonight. She averages 7 a game, Bulldogs.
This is the key. And Hawkins has to dribble penetrate. Has to get to the foul line.
Second free throw by Angie as well. And that cuts the Warrior lead to 45-21. 5:13 left in third. Jayla Galbraith back now, gives it to Jaden Walker. Walker to the baseline. Cut off there by, and a steal by Katie McCarty, her 4th steal of this game.
Second turnover in a row for the Warriors.
McCarty gets the pass, drives baseline, kicks it back out to Hawkins. They skip it over to the 3-point shot by Harris. That is short, and the ball goes out of bounds. Elena Harris had the open look there, but it was short, and the ball went out of bounds to the Warriors.
Yeah, I don't think exactly the shot West York wants to get. You know, I think when you get good ball reversal and you have that offensive player isolated, what a great time to shot fake, get a little dribble penetration.
Galbraith in the front court now to Sisler. Warriors still by 4:40 left in the third. Right side, Tyler Williams. Top of the key, Anna Mahan. Paige Weekly out to guard her. Right side, Tyler Williams at the elbow. Tyler rolls left hand and gives it to Jayla Galbraith around a screen in the paint. Feeds it over to Walker for 3. Yes!
Tell you what, that's her 3rd 3 of the game. She's taken 3, knocked down all 3. You look at the Warriors use their forwards out on the perimeter, but why not? If you can shoot like that.
Absolutely. Warrior lead is 7 now. Matches their biggest of the game, I believe. Right side, Hawkins front to Katie McCarty. They've got her out front now. And Weekly there at the high post. Bounce pass into Alyssa Zorbaugh. What was a good thought, but she threw it ahead of where Zorbaugh was, so that will turn it back over. And here's Sonora back on the court for the Warriors.
Yeah, that's a good sign. Yep. That is a sign. Obviously, Taylor is very, very important to this team. She has the ability to play point guard as well as shooting guard. Dribble penetrates very well.
And the Bulldogs without their leading scorer, Hoffman, who has 5-6 points, but injured her shoulder, and she has not returned. There's a turnover inside. Angie Hawkins picks up the steal, pushes it into the front court for West York, but she'll sit up to Elena Harris. Now let's reverse it to Katie McCarty. Still beyond the 3-point line, though, and they'll reset.
Warriors again in a 2-3 zone right now. As West York tries, Weekly catches the ball at the top of the key.
Now Hawkins for 3 in the corner. Too strong. Weekly uncontested offensive rebound blocked, but they're going to call the foul, I believe, on Jaden Walker. And Paige Weekly will shoot 2 for Walker. That's her first. Paige Weekly's 6th rebound of this game, Wayne.
It is, you know, and that's one of the very few offensive rebounds West has had. And one of the troubles with sitting back in his zone is sometimes you give up a few offensive rebounds, and that's exactly what happened.
Paige misses the first. She struggles at the line. You know, it's always been something that was tough. Arian Williams in for West York for Elena Zorbaugh. Get high school players to rebound out of a zone. When you play man, you turn around, you know your guys, you pick them to box. When you're in a zone, you don't have that man to guard, and you forget sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And the key is you step opposite the ball and block out anyway. You're right.
Second free throw missed. Offensive rebound by McCarty, but a steal by Susquehannock by Jaden Walker. And the Warriors back in front court, still leading by 7. Taylor Tenor in the corner drives on Williams. She's triple teamed on the baseline and went off a Paige Weekly, and will stay with Susquehannock.
You know, I love talking man-to-man defense, and there's a couple ways to play it. You know, when I coach, I always try to teach fanning the ball to the middle. I think you've got good help side there. Coach Wilson's the opposite. He fans you to the baseline and double teams there.
Galbraith on the inbounds pass missed the shot, and Weekly with another strong rebound, and Hawkins pushes it for the Bulldogs up to Arian Williams to Pete Weekly at the top of the key, feeds it inside, who hits the layup. That was a nice pass.
It was, but that time she collected herself, took one strong dribble. Defense had to step up and guard Weekly, and she did a nice job with a bounce pass down at the block and an easy bucket for the Dogs.
28-23, Warriors up, 2:50 left in the third. This is more of the game we expected. Yeah. Walker drives now and is cut off in the paint, feeds it to Tenora off to Mann for a jumper from the free throw line off the right side, no, and a rebound inside by Elena Harris, the 5'11 Frosh.
You know, you can see the Warriors trying to get that dribble penetration, but West York really doing a nice job defending.
And Arian Williams around a screen by Weekly, back to Paige at the top of the key, skips it over to Harris, drive on the left side to the hoop, off glass, no, but a offensive foul as Tyler Williams there took the charge from Elena Harris, and that's 3 on Harris.
Yeah, you know, an offensive charge is a turnover in the game of basketball. Nice job by Tyler Williams stepping in there, keeping square, getting her hands up in the air, drawing the charge. And the big possessions, 5-point game, a couple minutes left in the third quarter. Every possession now becomes important.
Jayla Galbraith in the front court now. Paige Weekly's brother Parker is in the stands here tonight. He's played back in the day for Bill Ackerman.
Yeah.
Top of the key Taylor Tenora off to Jaden Walker, and Anna May on top of the key. Gets a screen, but a steal by Paige Weekly. Weekly to Angie Hawkins. Hawkins feeds it to McCarty. McCarty might have double dribbled there.
I think she did.
Yeah, and the Bulldogs will reset it now. Hawkins out front between the circles.
Warriors again matched up now, man-to-man again.
And with it is Williams around a screen by McCarty. Gets it back to her. Katie head fake, drives in the paint. 10-footer is good.
Great offensive play by McCarty as she caught the ball face, little shot fake, took the ball to the basket, and guess what? It's a three-point game.
It is 1:30 left in the third. Dave Schreiner timeout. Ben Ferree reports from downtown. Halftime score Dallas 32, William Penn 30. Take a break here, and we'll be back right after this.
Having the gang over to watch the game? Keep them happy with great BestJet products from your neighborhood SureSave markets. Football fans, hockey fans, basketball fans, everyone's a fan of game day platters with $18.93 deli items. BestJet hot dogs go great with BestJet kettle cooked chips. Or serve up a couple BestJet Rising Crust pizzas with 12 packs of BestJet soda. Throw the best game day party ever with BestJet products. Shop Sawbrook in Shrewsbury, Stewartstown, Whiteford, and East York, Wetzel's in Rock, and Nell's Market Fresh Foods in Spry.
Mornings at 9. Dan Patrick on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Well, welcome back to Dogtown. We're at the brand new spanking beautiful facility here in West York as the Warriors of Susquehannock lead Dogs of West York by score 28-25, $1:30 to play in the third quarter. Here with the call, the best in the business, Ron Ruman.
Thank you, Wayne. Front with it, Jaden Walker for Susquehannock. Crosses over, double team, gives it back to Tyler Williams. Tyler looking to feed a Walker, but she's pushed out of there by Elena Harris on the box, and they give it to Anna May, and they leave locked away by Elena Harris. Harris with the steal. She's going to take it to the hoop. It's cut off by Walker. Good head fake. Puts it up and left it short. Rebound is knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Susquehannock.
Yeah, you can just feel the aggressiveness of both these teams stepping up. Coach Willison willing his team to get up in the pass lane. That time they did. They weren't able to turn into points.
And Maddie Stone checks in for Anna May now, and I see Becky B has arrived to help with this. It's got the whole family's here, and that's good. That's good. And Jay LeGalbraith into the front court now. Crosses over, gives it up to Taylor Tenora, who looks to be moving fine on that left ankle. Galbraith dribbles with Arian Williams on her now. Up to Tenora. She's guarded Hawkins. Tenora dribbles and back out to Williams. Williams took a step before she started to drop. Turn it over to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's like turnovers now is shifted, and the Warriors are ball over. I think that's 3 out of their last 5 possessions. They've done it every different way. They've done it by throwing it away, traveling.
What do you think there? That score downtown, 32-30, Dallastown leading York High at the half.
You know, that it just amazes me. I'm not sure it's going to end up like that because it is a tough place to win in the Bearcat Den. It shows you how much better the Wildcats are.
And I think, again, the Warriors in a 3 zone here, I believe, Wayne.
They are. You know, back to that game, Dallastown, great play. Donathan, catchings if you can. Just an outstanding, the McGlynn boy. I mean, they have great guard play.
Jumper on the baseline by McCarty, no good, but of an offensive rebound and a stick by Elena Harris, and the Dogs are with one at 28-27.
Wow, 1-point game as we wind down the third quarter. That was hitting the off glass by the Bulldogs.
Jaden Walker, she dropped on the left side, but she traveled. Tried to get that quick first step, but a little too quick.
Well, the Warriors are turnover prone. They've traveled now twice in 2 possessions, passed the ball away twice, and they're not even getting shots off right now.
All right, the Bulldogs looking for the last shot of the quarter and to take the lead. They've trailed almost this whole game. Angie Hawkins now to Elena Harris to Arian
zone in the Warriors. Warriors back.
5 seconds. Paige Weekly, top of the key to McCarty. Baseline jumper from 16. Too strong. Quarter will end with our score. Susky 28, West York 27. The final 8 minutes come your way next on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Today it seems everybody is offering a discount on car insurance, but at what price? Reduced protection and personal service. At State Farm, you can earn discounts and still get full service and dependable protection from the world's largest car insurer. See me, Trish Hauser, 1865 Susquehanna Trail North, York, for the State Farm multiple line discount. With State Farm, you get an agent you can depend on and an insurance company you can trust. For the details on State Farm's multiple line discount, see me, Trish Hauser.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Sports injury? Walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics for immediate care. No appointment is ever needed. Our orthopedic and sports medicine specialists are here to treat you. Visit westspan.org/urgent orthopedics today for hours at our York and Hanover locations.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
And we're back here at West York. Ron Ruman and Wayne McCullough ready to start the fourth quarter. West York by one. Well, Wayne, you said it. You thought these were the best two teams in Division II, and it's a tight one going down the stretch.
Yeah, it is, and both these teams defend well. We see it. They're both now settled in, getting fancy points. I think West York a little bit more aggressive. The stat of that quarter was West York had 11 shots, Susquehannock just 6 because of the turnovers the Warriors owned to have.
And the Dogs cut the lead there. They outscored them 10-6 in that quarter. So West York with it now, attacking the near basket, and the Page Weekly skips it out front to Arian Williams. She reverses to Angie Hawkins for 3. No, off the back of the iron, and Taylor Tenor backs it down in the corner for the Warriors.
That's where Angie Hawkins got to get dribble penetration when she's left unguarded out in that perimeter.
Maddie Stone in the front court with it now. She dribbles and gives it back to Tenora and off to Jayla Galbraith.
Again, fouls, just 3 in the entire third quarter. Really, again, a very foul-free game for the most part.
On the baseline, there's Jaden Walker. Her 8-foot jumper is good. Nice little turnaround by Walker.
Yeah, that's almost a little sky hook, wasn't it? A little one-handed shot from about 8 foot away. Well done, Jaden Walker.
30-27, Warriors by 3 now. I'm into the fourth quarter. Page Weekly skips it all the way over to Hawkins. Now she drives down the baseline. Runner from 8. That goes.
She's got to do a good ball reversal. Warriors in a 2-3 zone. One of the ways you beat a zone is get great ball reversal, get the zone to shift, and that time Angie Hawkins off the dribble knocks down a 5 or 6 foot jump shot.
30-29 now, Warriors by 1. Galbraith top of the key, right side to Taylor Tenor at the elbow. Arian Williams on her. Taylor dribbles to the baseline, now reverses with the left hand and goes back to Walker. And Galbraith high post to Tyler Williams. Drive lost it though. McCarty had it. But it's picked up by Susquehannock, saved by Maddie Stone. Now Williams drives, and they're going to have a blocking foul on Page Weekly. On Page, that is her first, and it will be out of bounds to the Warriors.
Well, Tyler Williams catches that ball on the left side. She's taking the ball to the basket. And I think Page Weekly did a nice job using her body to try to prevent that penetration, but her hands were down low inside. If her hands up in the air,
Warriors inbound. It's still leading by 1. Galbraith on the left elbow. Crossover and a hand check out front against Angie Hawkins. That's her second.
Yeah, the same way as points can change, all of a sudden we'll probably end up with like 10 fouls for each team all of a sudden here in the fourth quarter.
Shouldn't have said it.
Yeah, all right. But again, close game. Officials are on hand checks and penetration, and
they feed it on the baseline on the inbound to Williams. She has to come out on the double team, and there's a foul out front against Katie McCarty as Maddie Stone dribbled and tripped, but they're going to say that McCarty threw the leg out, and that's the second. So 3 quick fouls on West York now. They have 3-4 in the half, 2 for Susky, and Emma Tyndall will give Arian Williams a break for the Bulldogs.
Well, and credit to Warriors trying to get the ball to the basket. They didn't do that well in the third quarter, but they didn't get points out of it so far, but they are picking up some fouls.
Jaden Walker feeds it to the cutter through the lane. Tyler Williams, who hits the layup on the end. The Warrior lead back to 3.
Tyler Williams, a little screen-to-screener action, set the first screen, then shaped up wide open for her too.
Nicely run play, and a skip pass all the way over from Weekly to Hawkins on the other side of the baseline, but the Warrior defense is there. And Emma Tyndall has it out front now to Weekly at the left elbow. Out front top of the key, Hawkins right side to Harris. And now Tyndall back to Elena Harris. She pops a 3. Got it!
That's her third 3 of the game. I was about ready to say, against that zone, McKenna Hoffman is their 3-point shooter on the bench, injured right now. But you know what? The next best thing is the girl knocks him down.
Yep.
Elena Harris now with her third 3 of the game, and they need that. They need to extend that zone a little bit.
And we are tied at 32 with 5.5 minutes in this game.
Warriors spreading the 5 around nobody.
And with it as Maddie Stone drives against McCarty. The help came from Hawkins. We have a held ball. Dave Schreiner trying to get a timeout, but he's going to keep it on the alternate possession on the ball.
The Warriors do that. They'll spread the floor, run 5 around 0, and then try to back cut down through the middle of the lane, try to get a little open lane for penetration. West York did a nice job collapsing on that.
Jaden Walker tried to feed it into Maddie Stone inside, but McCarty was there for her 5th of this game.
Guess what, friends? Tied up 32, all 5 minutes to play. What a dandy we have.
High post to Paige Weekly. She looks over, gives it over to Harris for 3 on the right side. 2 in a row for Elena Harris.
Isn't that amazing? She knocks down a pair all of a sudden, lights up the gym. does Harrison. Shea left her unguarded. Williams kind of collapsed when the ball went inside, and she's standing out there toeing the three-line.
35-32, the Bulldog lead. Now by Tyler Williams, and she had the step and the roll all the way around the rim and fell off, and Weekly rebound stolen by Tenora, blocked by Weekly out of bounds. It will stay with Susquehannock.
Nice job by Tyler Williams getting the ball to the basket. A little ball. That is Taylor Tenora's game. She does well around the basket. She's got to get to the foul line. She may have been a little bit of contact there.
For Paige Weekly, that is her 8th rebound of this game. They go deep to Tyler Williams with McCarty on her in the corner to Jayla Galbraith. Galbraith to the free throw line. Anna Mahan back in now. She has it at the top of the key. Feeds it inside to Tenora, and she hits a little layup. Beautifully run play.
Little flex cut on the baseline. Tenora comes off a screen at the block, catches it in reverse layup. A little flex cut for Taylor Tenora.
Her first bucket of this game, and it's 35-34. West York by 1. High post Lee feeds it inside to McCarty. High-low action, and she hits the layup.
Great job. Paige Weekly dives up to the foul line, catches the ball, and nice so inside. Easy 2 for the Dogs. They're up 3.
5 assists for Paige Weekly. Here's a drive from the left side by Jaden Walker. Lost it out of bounds. And another turnover by the Warriors. And Dave Schreiner, 5 feet out on the court, talking to players.
Yeah, you know, it has been more of a turnover-prone second half for Susquehannock. The Dogs got 5 more shots during the third quarters, and that's continuing here into the fourth.
Full court press by Warriors. First time tonight. Bulldogs have it. Now McCarty in the backcourt. Get it ahead to Elena Harris, so they get it across the timeline.
Yeah, interesting. What the Warriors can't do is give up easy points down 3, but I think they're right. They got to change the tempo right now.
Hawkins with it now. He picks it up, needs some help. Gives it Emma Tyndall between the circles. Tyndall hands it off to Elena Harris. Skips it over to Hawkins here on the left side. Now low post. Paige Weekly spins to the baseline. Scoot won't go. Out of bounds off of McCarty, and it's going to be Warrior ball.
Paige Weekly catches the ball at the baseline, kind of an up and under lob pass almost, and really go up strong when you catch the ball underneath there.
Great position, got the seal, everything. All right, Bulldogs up 3, 3:25 left. Warrior basketball. Galbraith hands it off to Taylor Tenora. Tenora still dribbling out front, and they go to Jaden Walker in the corner down to Anna Mahan. Mahan comes out. She's met aggressively by Elena Harris. In the corner to Walker for 3. That's short. Rebound by Tyler Williams against McCarty. Takes it back up and draws the foul, and that's 3 on Katie McCarty. And good aggressive play by Tyler Williams, the 5'9" senior, and she will shoot 2 free throws wing. She's 2 of 2 tonight.
Yeah, she's a good free throw shooter. Great rebounder is Tyler Williams. Good aggressive play. You know, when you're up in late in the game, you got to rebound. That's one way you put games away.
Left-handed free throw is good. That cuts the Bulldog lead to 2 at 37-35.
It'll be interesting. Typically, you would think the Warriors now going to come out full court pressure, especially after a made foul shot. 1-point game. 3 minutes to see what the Warriors do.
Second free throw off to the left side. No. Paige Weekly with her 9th rebound. And Angie Hawkins has it for West York.
Now, if I'm West York, I'm playing for good shots right now, and I think that's what Coach is going to talk over with.
Calls a timeout with the Bulldogs up 2, 3 left. High school basketball game of the week presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine.
When you work with an independent insurance agent, you put the power of choice to work for you. Independent agents know several companies and their coverages, which means more options. And because companies like Donegal Insurance Group use the independent agent system, you not only get quality insurance, you also save money. The independent insurance agent system. Discover the power of choice. Contact Kochman Kunkel Insurance at 717-854-0300 or stop in at 3217 East Market Street, York. Owned and operated by Pam and Rick Kochman. Kochman Kunkel Insurance.
Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350. First in York. First in sports.
All right, well, they take the time off and count down the timeout now, but we've got about 3 minutes left in this one somewhere around there. West York up by 2, and it's West York ball. Wayne, what's the strategy for each side here?
Yeah, I think, this last possession, I thought West York let the shooters out in the perimeter unguarded. Fortunately, Susquehannock with a foul shot. So typically they're switching on the perimeter. I'm not so sure I switch and let Jaden Walker open or Jayla Galbraith. I think you stick them and don't let them open on a three-point line right now.
All right. So there you have it. West York leading by 2. 3:03 is the time remaining in this one. It has been a good one, and battle in Division 2. Each team with 1 division loss so far in the season.
Now, Susquehannock, I'm driving the ball right to the basket. West York now with 5 teams. You have a chance to maybe get to the foul line and win this game from the foul line.
And Angie Hawkins with it for West York. Dribbles to the left side. Low post, they go to Paige Weekly. Turns to the And her left just a little short, and the ball fought for out of bounds off of Susquehannock, and it's going to stay with West York, and Maggie Sisler checks in for Taylor Chinora.
Well, that time Paige Weeke did a nice job going up strong. That ball seemed to hang on that rim for about 2 seconds, but not able to fall down, but the Dogs get it again under the basket.
Emma Tyndall inbounded for the Bulldogs, and having some trouble. May have to take a timeout, and got a 5-sec call, I believe, before they got a timeout. So good defense by the Warriors. They get the turnover, and they'll come down, look at tie it, or take the lead with a 3.
Yeah, you know, when it hits 4, the official's not going to give you the timeout on the count of 5, and that's what happened.
Jayla Galbraith brings it up for the Warriors. A 5'3" sophomore to the left side. Hawkins on her. Galbraith still on the dribble, gives in the corner to Tyler Williams, drives on McCarty, who now has 3 fouls. Out to Anna Mahan, open for 3 at the top of the key. Ooh, off the left side. That looked good, but it didn't go. Rebound by Angie Hawkins.
Well, I think the Dogs did a nice job recognizing shooters and sticking them. Now, Anna Mahan can knock that down, but probably not the shot the Warriors want.
So, Bulldog ball up to 2:22 remaining. In the corner is McCarty. On the right side, she drives against Williams. A lot of contact, but she hit the baseline, dribbled on the baseline, so they let the contact go, and the Warriors get it on the turnover.
Yeah, you know, I'm okay with not calling the whistle, but as soon as it changes the play, I think the whistle should have happened on that play. Good game, 2-point game, 2 minutes to play.
And Jayla Galbraith drills out front. Right side of Jaden Walker. Walker about 27 feet out now to Tyler Williams at the top of the key. Right side, Anna Mahan. Anna Mahan. She gives it in the corner to Walker. Clock 1:55. Back in the right corner. Anna dribbles it out and skips it out front to Williams in the corner to Sisler for 3. Short. And it goes out of bounds. The Bulldogs will have it.
Good shot. I mean, Sisler knocked down her one previous 3, so good ball reversal. Certainly a good shot for the Warriors. Now the Warriors are going to get up full court man-to-man pressure and face guarding the guards.
And Katie McCarty, the inbounded, she's having some trouble, gets it to Emma Tyndall. She's double, gets it back to McCarty. And the 6-foot senior will get it toward Angie Hawkins. Timeout taken by Daryl Wilderson. His team leads by 2. 1:36 remaining. A high school basketball game of the week presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine.
Ready or not, winter driving is on its way. So allow the service professionals at Fink's Garage to check your vehicle to make sure it's ready for the weather that's sure to be coming. We can check your tires, coolant, belts and hoses, battery, and other maintenance needs so that you can be confident about your car for winter. Call Fink's Garage at 717-854-5175. That's 854-5175 to schedule your winter checkup. Remember, being broken down stinks. Let us repair your car at Fink's.
The home for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
And we're back at West York. Ron and Wayne McCullough here. West York leading Susquehannock 37-35. 96 seconds left. The Bulldogs have it.
Yeah, the Warriors have fouls to give. They only have 2 fouls. If I'm the Warriors, I'm going to foul each possession now because I may need to stop that clock during the game.
That's right. McCarty with it out front now. Gives it up to Hawkins. With it. And to Elena Harris. Harris now to McCarty. Bulldogs playing with it outside.
They're spreading the floor, running back cuts out in the middle of the court.
There's one from Tyler Williams to reach in. That's her first, so that's 3.
Well, I think they need to do that. When that clock is under 1 minute in the game, you want to have 6 fouls so you can stop the clock.
Timeout, Dave Schreiner. We'll keep it here as we're good on that. So by my count, each team has 2 timeouts remaining. You know, an interesting thing in the game we had Friday, York High and Spring Grove. Spring Grove took a timeout when a one-possession game, a 3-point game, and apparently they did not have a timeout. That was a technical 2 free throws made by West York in the ball, and that was the game with 16 seconds left. Now, I had Spring Grove with a timeout remaining as well. Apparently there was a timeout earlier in the game, which was charged to Spring Grove, which I think York High might have called. I'm not sure, but that was a very interesting situation. So
yeah, it's not like television where you got a couple thousand eyes on the book, but certainly in this case, it's the visitor book that takes precedence whenever. Both these coaches done a nice job saving timeouts. You need 1 or 2 timeouts left down under 30 seconds.
And as you mentioned, Susquehannock still has to foul 3 times to put West York on the line.
Yeah, West York spreads the floor. Spreadmore looking for back cuts, and they're going to make you come out and play.
You get Hawkins in the backcourt. Bulldogs don't have to shoot. They're with 10 left. Hawkins dogged by Sisler. Double team comes now, and Hawkins near midcourt, and that's a 5-second or...
I think called a timeout. Coach Wilson called a timeout.
Okay, so he's down to having one left with 1:04 remaining. So what are strategies here, Wayne?
Yeah, again, if you're Susquehannock, I think you cannot let this clock run down with not giving yourself a chance to win. Now, if you're West York, here's the deal. They did a nice job spreading the floor, but you got to have somebody cutting to the middle of the floor, being available to get that pass. They're double teaming in the middle of the floor as Susquehannock, so it's almost a give and go. If you pass the ball, your person's going to leave and double the ball, so you better not run away from it. You better come back to it hard. Right. So I think that's what Coach Wilson say. Be available. Come back to the ball. Pass. Come back to it. Be available. Catch and be strong.
All right, well, we shall see, and of course, ball security is very important here. You don't want to give the turnover, and that's what Susquehannock would love to get the turnover. It's a one-possession game. It's a 2-point game. So,
a lot of people talk about should be a shot clock in PIAA basketball.
Right, I'm one of them.
Well, I'm okay. I'm with that too, but it's so hard to hold the ball. I mean, that is a skill that's not easy either, especially late in the game in a 2-point game.
1:04 left now, and Elena Harris to inbound it. And having some trouble. West York and...
Called 5 seconds.
Wow, huge turnover there. Good defense by the Warriors. And so they have the ball with 1:04 left, and they can tie or take the lead.
I think Coach Wilderson a little hesitant to use another timeout there.
One left, I think.
Yeah, but I agree. That's a 5-second call West York has had, not able to get the ball in bounds.
Dave Schreiner takes his 4th timeout, so he will strategize. And
wow. So the Warriors have the ball.
Yes,
the Warriors have the ball, and I don't know if you need to look for a 3-pointer. I think you just want to get to the basket. I mean, certainly if you have a 3-point take, Jaden Walker's 3 for 4 from that 3-point line. Of course, Jayla Galbraith can knock it down. So you got some 3-point options. Maggie Sisler's knocked one tonight, but I think you get the ball basket. I think you take it hard. West York with 5 fouls. You get them in the 6th, 7th foul. All of a sudden, you tie the game, and you're in the bonus. Now you're sitting pretty nice.
Well, it gets you some scores from York Traditions Bank here, and Spring Grove is taking the lead over New Oxford, 49-35 in the 4th. So that's a big turnaround there. And of interest to fans listening here, West York leading Susquehannock on the boys' side, 35-30 in the 4th. Eastern up on Suburban by 17 in the 4th. And a couple of girls scores here. We noted Delone beat Lewistown. Eastern leading Suburban by 7 in the 3rd. Dover up big on Gettysburg in the 4th. And New Oxford leading Spring Grove 32-18 at the half. We'll get you the rest of the scores. Dover boys have beaten Gettysburg 57.
All right, Rod. Now we talked about the game clock as well as having a 24, 30-second clock, shot clock. How about the possession arrow? Next possession arrow, jump ball goes to West York. I think with 1 minute left, you turn it off and jump it up. That's my opinion.
All right, I'm for that. Yeah, I like that. At the top of the key, Anna Mahan now gives it back to Maggie Sisler. She drives in the lane, puts up a runner from 8 feet. No, got her own rebound and gets it out to Jaden Walker. Back to Jayla Galbraith. Right side of Mahan now. Clock at 43. Not sure that's a shot they wanted, but Maggie saved and
Susquehannock calls a time.
All right, that's their final timeout now, by my count anyway, and West York with 1 remaining. So I guess Dave Schreiner's going to set up the play he wants with 39 seconds left.
Yeah, I think so, and I think, again, in my opinion, you spread the floor and let those guys dribble penetrate a little bit. There's still enough time to get 2 possessions left in this game.
Right.
Especially if you come down and foul. Now, the trouble is the Warriors only with 3 team fouls. When West York gets the ball, it's going to be tough to get it back.
Right.
Unless they have the ball out of bounds and they can't get it in.
That's true, which has happened twice. But you mentioned, though, the Warriors have Tyler Williams, who's had some great drives to the bucket tonight. I think Jaden Walker, she has 3 threes, but she can put it on the floor. Even Anna Mahan can do that. So they've got several players, and we've seen Sisler do it. So
and Taylor Tenora, that's her game. I mean, she can get the ball to the basket, too. I think down 2, you try to drive hard to the basket.
I would.
And try to score that way.
I mean, you may get the bucket and a foul.
Yeah. Well, true, and if you're West York, you're probably saying don't foul. I mean, defend but don't foul. Interesting. The shot clock now, I'm sorry, not the shot, possession arrow in the favor of West York. Timeouts, West York 1, Susquehannock I don't think has any.
No, not by my count.
So West York up by 2, but the Warriors ball, and here with the call, the best in the business, Ron Rubin.
Maggie Sisler inbounds it to Taylor Galbraith, clock at 37. Jayla Galbraith on the dribble. Now in the corner they go to Jaden Walker. Walker dribbles it out and Goes outside to Tyler Williams, who drives in the paint, slapped by Hawkins. The ball's on the floor. Here's that held ball, Wayne, and West York has it.
Yeah, don't you turn that thing off and let him jump it up, huh?
I'm for that.
Well, nice job by West York, double teaming on the penetration. Tyler Williams gets about 5 feet from the basket, and the whole West York defense.
Katie McCarty inbounds it to Hawkins now, and Susky is going to have to foul 4 times to put him on the line. And Arian Williams with it into the floor. It's batted away by Williams, and players crash into each other. That was out of bounds off Anna Mahan, so it's going to stay with West York. I don't think they're going to call a foul, or maybe they are. Yes,
well,
they are. They're calling an Anna Mahan. So that's her third.
Certainly a loose ball there. That ball was, I mean, it was not a crisp pass. It was kind of tossed up. Daryl Wilderson now going to use his last timeout. All right, 15 seconds to go. There's no sense going with one in your pocket either.
That's true. That's exactly right. So the Bulldogs have the ball and a 2-point lead, and Susquehannock still, they're going to foul him 3 times to put him on the line here in 15 seconds.
Well, here's the deal. West York twice now out of 3 times could not get the ball in bounds. Well, you got to tell guys, you better be cutting off each other.
Yeah, or just, send somebody deep. They can throw it into the backcourt to get it in bounds. I mean,
you know what, though? There is no way I'm throwing it right. There's no way that ball's going back beyond that half court. If they're going to get the ball, they're going to get it up here and have to go the whole length of the floor.
That's a good point, yeah.
I like how you think, though. I like it.
But that's right. As Wayne mentioned, 2 5-second violations against West York in this on the inbound tonight. So Warriors need that right now, or a turnover. They are down by a deuce with just 15 seconds left as the players break the huddles.
Yeah, and usually now you want your point guard on the second screen, not the first. The first screen, they're going to on this first screen, so you want your point guard off a second screen here. Here's one, Andy Hawkins right away.
And they get it to Hawkins now. Hawkins up there. Anna Mahan gets the held ball, and this goes back to the Warriors. So she got the tap with 12.7 seconds left. A little bit of a quick whistle on the tie-up, but the Warriors get it.
Well, I talked about Anna Mahan being that physical player. Guess what? She's right on the point guard there and ends up with a jump ball. So Warriors again with a chance to either tie or go ahead with just 12.7 seconds left to play.
Timeouts. They get it into Jayla. She's met by Andy Hawkins. Galbraith out front. Around a screen by Williams.
Good foul.
And
see, West York had one to give.
Yeah, okay.
So that foul, that's a good foul. Now, probably a little earlier than you wanted it because there's still 8 seconds to go, but a good foul.
All right, so Maggie Sisler will inbound it right at the Warrior bench. 8.2 left. Warriors down by a bucket. They get it to Galbraith. Galbraith splits the defense, feeds it to Williams and Lane. Runner from 6 is good. We're tied. Bulldogs back. They heave it at the buzzer. Hit the backboard by Hawkins, but it doesn't go. 4 quarters was not enough, Wayne. We're going to go to OT.
Well, as well as West York did dribble penetration, that time Jayla Galbraith was able to get deep in the penetration, found an open as the West York defense stepped up on her. She was able to find Tyler Williams open, and that's Tyler Williams' left-handed layup, so to speak, and it's 37-37 at the end of regulation.
Wow, that was a nice splitting the defense by Galbraith. Good cut by Williams. Hit the little 6-foot runner, as you mentioned, kind of a left-handed layup for her to tie it, and Hawkins heaved from about 60 feet, hit the backboard and the rim at the buzzer. But
I thought that thing was banking in there for a second.
I thought it was too. So wow, 37 apiece, and we'll play another 4 minutes.
Yeah, what a great basketball game, and credit both these teams playing hard, playing good defense. The Warriors not going away. Talk about the Warriors defense. First of all, we talked about it. West York not able to get the ball in 3 times in that last few minutes, and then Anna Mahan creating a jump ball in the possession with 12 seconds to play.
That might be the play of the game.
Absolutely. Anna Mahan, that's rare. That's why you need her on the floor. And, I have often said this is not Anna Mahan, although she's pretty close. Always said great basketball teams need 4 good basketball players and 1 good football player.
Yeah,
Anna's pretty daggone close to that 1 good football player.
Well, we will jump it to start overtime. Katie McCarty and Tyler Williams will jump it as they did start this thing. So 37 apiece after regulation.
Taylor Tenora on the bench right now.
The toss controlled by Warriors, and Jaden drives right down the right side and banks it home, and the Warriors take the 2-point lead.
It's almost like West York wasn't sure which way the ball was heading. They just didn't pick her up until late in that transition.
Angie Hawkins now back to the left elbow. Low post to Katie McCarty. McCarty spins baseline, left it short, but going to call the foul on Tyler Williams, who has a look of stunned disbelief on that call.
I think I would agree with Tyler. I mean, she was straight up and held her position, and it was kind of a duck in up and her kind of take by McCarty, and there's some contact there.
First free throw is good by McCarty. It's a second foul on Tyler Williams, so it's 39-38. Warriors now, 3:40 left in the overtime.
McCarty's had a great game. She's got 13 points up on the board right now.
And missed the second, and Paige Weekly hit the baseline with it, so it will go to the Warriors, leading by 1.
You know, these Bulldogs have not shot well from the foul line all season long. They've gotten there a lot, but they're 47 for 99, less than 50% for the season, and you don't win those games like that.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Walker dribbles out front, gives it to Mahan. Anna Mahan now drives and goes to Tyler Williams. Maggie Sisler, left elbow in the corner to Jaden Walker. Walker forced to the baseline by Harris, and we're going to have a bump out front, a little check there by Elena Harris, and a one-on-one coming for Jaden Walker.
Well, now these fouls do count, and certainly for West York, each foul is going to put Susquehannock on the foul line. That little bump wasn't called on the baseline a couple of times, but out in the perimeter, it was a right call.
Front end, no good off the back of the iron. Rebound by McCarty, but that was the 4th personal foul on Elena Harris.
Both teams missing a free throw here now in overtime. That's going to be an important stat as we finish this game.
Bulldogs back trailing by a point. Out front is G. Hawkins, and they get it over to Elena Harris. And out front in the ball, Sisler. Hawkins out front is going to stay with the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs boys have won 42-41. Down in Glen Rock. Anton Johnson on the report there for us. He'll have a report on the air tomorrow.
Well done, Anton.
And in the backcourt, Angie Hawkins with it. And York Catholic, a big winner. Anthony Nalo reports 73-31 over Bermudian. And Hawkins called for the offensive foul. Anna May the charges. Angie Hawkins took it down the lane. And she's for the charge, and that's 4 on Hawkins.
Yeah, I think, that's what we need Angie to do if you're the Bulldog fan, and try to get dribble penetration. Nice job by Anna Mahan stepping up.
So the Warriors back leading by 1. Man at the top of the key gives it off to Tyler Williams, to Sisler on the baseline. Galbraith out front. And a jumper by Jayla Galbraith is good. That was a 3.
It was. Look at that. She little step dribble penetration, step back and knocked it down.
And the Warriors lead is now 4 at 42-38 here with 2:26 left in the overtime.
Take it back to Anna Mahan. She's jump ball right into overtime. The charge here right now. The things defensively that happen are so important.
Absolutely. Here's Paige Weekly's jump baseline, too strong. McCarty tried to get the rebound, but she stepped on the baseline. It's going to go to the Warriors now.
Bucket here starts making this thing a very difficult opportunity for the Bulldogs, especially with 18 fouls. Susquehannock up 4, 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go with the ball.
It is amazing, Wayne. The Warriors are almost out of sync in the 4th quarter, but boy, have they come on here in the overtime.
Yeah.
And the Warriors now being patient with it out front. No need to hurry, under 2 minutes. And Tyler Williams gives it off to Sisler, and she's fouled by Katie McCarty. That's 4 on McCarty, so 3 Bulldogs with 4 fouls now, and Maggie Sisler to the line for a 1-on-1. She's 1 of 2 tonight.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good foul. Again, you're less 2 minutes, you're down 4. You got to stop. Trouble is, West York now with 9 team fouls. The 10th one, they're going to shoot a double bonus, but good foul.
Sisler front end missed, and rebound is batted out, pulled by Angie Hawkins. So here come the Bulldogs down 4. They need a bucket. 1:40 remaining in the basket. Overtime. In the paint, there's McCarty. Nice. Knocked away, though, by Williams and picked up by Anna Mahan. Ball's loose. McCarty has it on the baseline. Gets it out to Hawkins, Harris, who drove, and there's a foul called on the Warriors.
Yeah, I think that to be critical of the officials, but that play should finish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your dribble penetration in the paint, bounce pass for 2 points. You almost wish foul would not be called if you're a Bulldog fan.
That's 16 fouls now on the Warriors. Inbound pass knocked out of bounds. So shoot from here on.
Yeah.
Got some boys will pass along here when we get a break in the action. Some interesting ones.
Got Anna Mahan with the steal and a previous possession. So you talk about what defense does. You can put a defender on the floor and see what can happen here.
McCarty has it, gets it out to Hawkins, bodied by Sisler, and the ball's turned over, threw it too high to Harris, and Anna Mahan picks it up. Mahan to the hoop, pops it from 8 feet. That's short, and rebound by Williams. We have a held ball, and it's going to stay with the Warriors on the alternate possession. May have been an ill-advised shot by Mahan and want to run some clock there.
Absolutely. Guess who had the turnover?
Anna Mahan. Third steal.
It is. Third steal, took a charge. all here with like 12 seconds left to play in the game.
Go deep to Sisler now. Warriors all the time, and that's the 5th foul on Katie McCarty. That was kind of a touch foul out front. But the 6-foot senior is done for the night, and that is a tough blow for the Bulldogs.
Not a bad foul. Not the person committing it that you want to.
And Maggie Sisler will shoot 2 now. So McCarty will on Emma Tyndall in. We mentioned the Bulldog boys winning 42-41 over Susquehannock and Glen Rock, so a good boys game as well. And also York Catholic winning. Eastern beats Suburban 65-42. Sisler's first is good, so the Warrior lead now at 5. And Central was trailing Northeastern by 1 point at the half, 35-34. The final, Bobcats 75-58. Second one by Sisler is good, so the Warrior lead is 6. Northeastern, they're like Penn State when they're a second half team.
You got to like Sisler coming off the bench and playing with nerves of steel, knocking down 2 free throws here with a minute to play.
Page Weekly out front now. Bulldogs need to score quickly. There's a jumper by Harris. That is no good. 2 Warriors went for the ball at the same time and knocked it out of bounds. Mann and Sisler. So we'll stay with West York. 1:02 left, though. The Dogs down by 6.
Well, if the Warriors are able to convert foul shots, this is their game right now because even if West York is able to score, they're going to foul immediately.
Emma Tyndall gets it in. They get it into Angie Hawkins. Bulldogs need to shoot quickly now. Under a minute. Hawkins back to center court. Crosses over to the free throw line. Down the paint. And draws the foul. But the ball did not go. Giesler will get the whistle. Her first. And Angie Hawkins will shoot 2. She is 2 of 2 tonight at the line.
Good dribble penetration by Angie Hawkins. That time she did get fouled. Will shoot 2. Let's assume she makes them both. A 4-point game. 44-40. And the Dogs are going to have to foul immediately.
Hawkins is the first.
But it's not over. It is not over. 54 seconds to play, and it really is going to come down to the Warriors convert foul shots or not.
Angie Hawkins, nothing on those 2, so it's a 4-point game now. Here's the press by the Bulldog. Walker in the backcourt. Walker dogged by Williams, gets it to Made in the front court to Tyler Williams. Good job. Clock ticking down to 45. They get it back to Galbraith, and they're going to have foul. And Hawkins still trying to get the steal back to Mahan. And she is by Emma Tyndall. And Anna Mann will shoot the 2 there. And Emma, 5'6" senior, picks up her first personal. And Anna Mann to the line. First time tonight. She's 5 of 10 on the year.
Good foul, but it should not have taken 10 seconds to get that foul.
That's right.
Those 10 seconds are pretty important.
Mann's first is no good. Off the left side, hit the back of the rim and fell off. So 4-point game it remains with 36.8 left.
Warriors in double bonus every time they are fouled.
And Anna Mann missed them both. Rebound by Paige Weekly. So here come the Bulldogs. Hawkins in the front court. Clock at 32. Hawkins to the left elbow. Picks it up. Goes to Harris. Harris back to Weekly. Weekly to Harris. Around a screen for 3. On the back of the rim. No. Rebound by Tyler Williams. It's in the front court with it. Gets it over to Walker. Clock at 17. And the foul committed by Elena Harris. 2 shots coming for Jaden Walker.
Yeah, I mean, the Bulldogs got a good look. They got a 3-point shot. They set it up. That's the 5th foul. So, Bulldogs are going to the bench. Harris, she's played a nice ball game tonight.
So she will sit down. The second Bulldog to foul out, replaced by a freshman, Alyssa Zorba. Here's 2 free throws now by Jaden Walker.
Yeah, she makes 2. This game, you might as well say, I think, is in the books.
Made the first, so it's 45-40, and it's a 2-possession game now with 16 seconds left, so it may be there anyway. And she does hit them both.
Credit to Warriors. I mean, they were the ones with the backs to the wall with 12 seconds to play, and a tied-up ball by Anna Mayhem playing good defense.
Hawkins at the top of the key into the paint to the hoop, draws a foul. I think Jaden Walker maybe on the help defense there with 8.9 left. No, it's on Maggie Sisler.
You know, that's what she needed to do all game. The last 2 possessions, she got to the basket. She does it well, does Angie Hawkins. She was kind of tentative getting to the basket earlier in the night.
She hits the free throw. She is 5 of 5 at the stripe, but I think it's academic now because the Warrior lead is 5.
Well, you see she's a good free throw shooter, so you got to get her there.
Second one, that one off the left side. No, offensive rebound by Arian Williams. Oh, the stick back doesn't go, and that should do it. Tyler Williams with the rebound, and the Warriors will dribble out. Final 2 seconds remaining, and that is it. The Warriors in a hard-fought overtime win as they beat West York here on the Bulldogs' home court. The final score, Susquehannock 46 and West York 41. All right, the Neighborhood Sure Save Postgame Show comes your way next on the High School Basketball Game of the Week presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine on Sports Radio 1350 and GameTimePA.com.
Having the gang over to watch the game? Keep them happy with great Best Jet products from your neighborhood Sure Save markets. Football fans, hockey fans, basketball fans, everyone's a fan of game day party planners with $18.93 deli items. Best Jet hot dogs go great with Best Jet kettle cooked chips. Or serve up a couple Best Jet rising crust pizzas with 12 packs of Best Jet soda. Throw the best game day party ever with Best Jet products. Shop Sobel's Markets in Shrewsbury, Stewartstown, Whiteford, and East York, Wetzel's in Glenrock, and Nell's Market Fresh Foods in Spry.
Another plate of cookies and another glass of milk. Oh, that's it. Santa is on strike.
Man, what's going on, Dude, you're Santa Claus.
Yes, I am. Are you responsible for this plate of cookies?
Yeah, well, my wife, I poured the milk for you.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't want them.
Santa doesn't want cookies and milk? Watching your figure?
Easy. I haven't actually put your presents under the tree yet, you know.
Sorry, Santa. Did you say you're on strike?
I did.
In my living room?
Look, everywhere I go, it's cookies and milk. Cookies and milk. You think a fella could get a jelly-filled maple donut once in a while, or a chocolate-covered peanut maple donut, or a glazed? Oh, Charlie makes one heck of a glazed maple donut.
But Santa, you have a lot of work to do.
And a hot cup of maple Donuts' famous coffee sure would help. No, sir. This year's Santa wants maple donuts.
Well, we have some glazed maple donuts in the kitchen for Christmas morning. It's sort of a holiday tradition with us.
Oh, isn't that charming? Go get the box.
Maple donuts taste right.
I think I just saved Christmas.
Merry Maple Donuts! Merry Maple Donuts!
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
And back at West York as the crowd filing out after an exciting overtime win by the Susquehannock Warriors, 46-41. We're tied at 37 through regulation. The Warriors taking the OT 9-6, and they get the win tonight here in West York to improve to 3-2 on the year and 2-1 in the league. West York falls to 4-2 and 2-2. And this was a game that Dave Schreiner still meeting with his players out there on the court. He told us in pregame they needed to win. They lost 2 in a row. They needed a rebound win, like he said West York got after a 30-point loss to Dover. And Wayne, they got it tonight.
They absolutely did, and they did it with a come-behind fashion. I mean, I thought they controlled the first half of the game, playing well, but it slipped away from them in the third quarter. They were turnover-prone in the third quarter, but late in the game, it was their defense that stepped up and did the job. West York couldn't get the ball inbounds 3 times in the final quarter. Turnover, jump ball. Next thing you know, the Warriors have the possession with less than 10 seconds to go. Tyler Williams on a layup ties it up, and the Warriors win in overtime.
All right, and there you have the summation. It was an exciting game by 2 good teams here in Division II. We're going to take a break here on the Neighborhood Sure Save Post-Game Show. Come back with our post-game stats, courtesy of Trish Hauser, your local State Farm agent, on the High School Basketball Game of the Week presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine and on Sports Radio 1350 and GameTimePA.com.
Today it seems everybody is offering a discount on car insurance, but at what price? Reduced protection, impersonal service. At State Farm, you can earn discounts and still get full service and dependable protection from the world's largest car insurer. See me, Trish Hauser, 1865 Susquehanna Trail North, York, for the State Farm multiple line discount. With State Farm, you get an agent you can depend on and an insurance company you can trust. For the details on State Farm's multiple line discounts, see me, Trish Hauser.
Between car payments, repairs, and the price at the pump, it can feel like your car is going to drive you out of house and home. Fortunately, Donegal Insurance Group can make keeping your car on the road more affordable. That's because for safe drivers, Donegal delivers rates that are among the lowest in the state. To find out how much you can save, call your neighborhood Donegal agent today. Contact Coatman Kunkel Insurance at 717-854-0300 or stop in at 32 East Market Street, York. Locally owned and operated by Pam and Rudy Coatman Kunkel Insurance.
First in York, first in sports. Radio 1350 WOYK.
And welcome back to West York. Ron Rubin and Wayne McCullough here as an exciting overtime game tonight. The Susquehannock Warriors girls defeating West York 46-41 in the OT. Warriors led it by 5 at the half, was tied at 37 after regulation, and the Warriors taking the overtime 9-4. So time for our final stats now, courtesy of Trish Hauser.
It was first for the West York Bulldogs in double figures. Leading the Bulldogs was the senior forward, Katie McCarty. She had 12 points, 6 in the first half, 6 in the second half. very effective underneath the basket in the paint was Katie McCarty. You know, I think an interesting stat, Elena Harris, first of all, with 8 points, she knocked down a pair of threes in the second half, really separated the Bulldogs in that third and fourth quarter as she led them shooting. But probably the most important stat I think of the game, McKenna Hoffman, 6 points, but left the game in the first half, did not return. Right. So her 6 points were left for naught in the second half of the game. Now, for the Warriors of Susquehannock, their leading scorer, Tyler Williams, she had 12 points, but the Warriors with good balanced scoring all night long. Jaden Walker with 11 points. She knocked down 3 threes. Also, Jayla Galbraith had 8 points. She knocked down a 3, but that 3 she knocked down late in overtime. She took one dribble to the basket, pulled back with Angie Hawkins in her face, drilled that thing. That's what separated the game. That's what ended up being a game winner for the Warriors of Susquehannock. So there are the double figures. We'll play game. It was a fun game to watch, Ron. I had a good time.
It was a good game to call. So another kick. Key stats quickly. Paige Weekly had a nice game for West York. She had 5 assists and 10 rebounds. And Katie McCarty, before she fouled out, had 5 steals and 7 rebounds for the Bulldogs. So, and also for Susky, Tyler Williams had 5 rebounds, and Jayla Galbraith had 4 assists.
Well, and Anna Mahan with 3 steals late in the game, as well as taking the charge. She turned it around from a defensive standpoint as well.
All right, those are your final stats, courtesy of Trish Hauser, your local State Farm. Susquehannock wins it 46-41 in overtime. We're going to take a break, come back with our Heritage Hills Player of the Game and our York Traditions Bank post-game scoreboard right after this.
Give the gift of relaxation with a gift card from Serenity Spa and Salon at Heritage Hills, the perfect place to unwind after the holidays. York's largest full-service spa and salon, Serenity Spa offers a wide variety of traditional spa services, including massages and facials, a full range of body treatments complete with a delectable scent of your choice, or create your very own package. Gift cards can be purchased at the salon located at 2700 Mount Rose Avenue or by going to serenityspayork.com.
My name is Bob Innerst. I've been a York Traditions Bank customer since 2008. One of the things that I like about York Traditions Bank is that I know everyone is right here in the York area and everybody's local and the decisions are made, right here at the bank. So I feel very comfortable if I need a loan or if I have a question about anything, I'm going to get the answer from the people right here. Because we live here too means that they share a lot of the same concerns that I do. I know that they give back to the local community, and it really makes a difference. They're invested here, and that's important to me. I now tend to measure other businesses that I deal with the level of service that I get at York Traditions Bank. I feel that York Traditions Bank never takes my business for granted. I highly recommend York Traditions Bank to anyone.
Transition to tradition today. York Traditions Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Live local sports is on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Alrighty, we are back at West York one final time as the Susquehannock Warriors win a big win and a fun one, 46-41 in overtime against the West York Bulldogs. And time now for our Heritage Hills Player of the Game, Wayne.
All right, how about the 5'9" senior forward for the Susquehannock Warriors, Tyler Williams. Tyler had 5 boards, 2 steals, and an assist. But you know what? Less than 3 seconds to go, she took a pass from Jayla Galbraith down the paint and knocked down a little running layup to tie this game and put it in overtime and gave the Warriors a chance to win.
Making that pressure shot, that's worth a lot. So Tyler Williams, our Heritage Hills Player of the Game tonight in a good one in overtime. Glad you were with us for it, folks. Time now for our York Traditions Bank post-game scoreboard show. Again, we have 5 of our interns out that'll have reports on the air and on the website tomorrow, so make sure you tune in there. Cade Burdett was at Central, where it was a 1-point Bobcat lead from Northeastern at halftime, but they end up winning by 17, 75-58, Wayne, to go to 7-0 over Central.
Yeah, I'm not sure many teams are going to score over 70 points to beat the Bobcats on any given night. I mean, they just get up and down the floor, and they put points on the board.
Well, and that was almost the exact halftime score with Dallastown on Friday, and won 58. They are just too much in the second half. West York down in Glenrock, the boys defeating Susquehannock in a tight one, 42-41. So the Bulldogs now have gotten their second win of the year. The Warriors fall to 1-4. Eastern rolls to 4-1 out in Wrightsville with a big 65-42 win over York Suburban. Trojans still 0-5 right now. And York Catholic, a big win. They go to 3-1 over Bermudian, 73-31. Still awaiting a final. We have Ben Ferree on the scene in the fourth quarter downtown. It's Dallastown leading York High 45-43. So Ben will have that final and that report for you tomorrow on the station and on the website. Other boys finals, Big Riverville over Fairfield, 62-61. Dover keeps rolling. They beat Gettysburg 57-40. DeLone over Littlestown 70-59. And Spring Grove over New Oxford 51-41. So we've heard a lot about the Colonials early. That's an interesting game, and Spring Grove Wayne averaging about 71 points a game, so they were held to 51 but still got the win.
Yeah, well, that's New Oxford. The Circletown boys slow the ball down, take the air out of the basketball, and give themselves a chance to win, and they gave themselves a chance to win tonight. They weren't able to beat the Papertown boys, but there's going to be a lot of people that don't beat the Papertown boys this year.
Sure. Some girls finals in addition to our game. Eastern over Suburban 46-36, so the night's looking good. The D2's tough, Wayne.
Absolutely.
DeLone over Littlestown 54-29. Dover in Division 2, they beat Gettysburg 49-16. There are 4 teams in Division 2 that can play.
We don't have the box score, but I can bet your boot the Fink sisters have about 40 of those 49.
New Oxford, the girls are doing very well. They beat Spring Grove 57-42. Red Lion rebounds. They lost by 29 points to Central Wayne. Do you ever remember Red Lion girls losing by that much?
No, this is a big, big win for them to get back on the win column.
They beat Southwestern by 12, 49-37, and Dallastown with a good win over William Penn tonight on the girls' side, 57-32. So those are our York Traditions Bank post-game scores for you. Our final again, Susquehannock 46, West York 41 in overtime. It's going to do it for us. For Leif Johnson on the video for Game Time, Jim Harden, as always, pushing all the right buttons back at the station, and my friend and partner tonight, Wayne McCullough. I'm Ron Ruman. Thanks for listening, folks, and you have a good night.
Thank you for listening to WOYK's High School